white men and 2 black men. I'm gonna roll with it. Let's see.
As long
You
as
were
you do
waiting. Okay.
as long as you do the
oh.
face, the emoji face that has the closed eye, that's like
Yeah.
Welcome
you say
everyone to the
right
Renegade
after
Realm
oh.
podcast, episode 52.
He got that for you.
I'm joined by Marco, dude, ThatBlueNumber, and Jonas. This is gonna be a good one. So much fun stuff to talk. About this week. We've got three big things that happened, including our thoughts on the game of the year without a shadow of a doubt right now, without a shadow of a dragon. Oh man, I'm just so happy, so excited. And this week has been really, really busy, and so it feels like we've been gone for a really long time. Before we get started, I almost said Jonas Esprit. Lotus Esprit with $50 super chat already showing love. Thank you so much, Lotus. You're never gonna not.
It's so quick.
Yeah, just immediately. Thank you so much for that. That is so nice of you. With your amazing thing, and I don't think we've ever seen that little kitty before. What's the story behind that? Can I click on it? Okay, I can.
Lotus isn't here.
There's a story behind it?
Tag them, and they're not popping up.
They're probably in another show as well. They probably have like 4 tabs up right now because they are just a huge supporter of the community at large. Anyway, Lotus, thank you so much. We got Bionic Wolf. And see, Andrew Cullinane is here, and not Jake. Jake has been he was a long-time watcher for a long time, and then he disappeared and died, and then he used a wake stone and revived himself, and he's back. It's really good to see you, man. Monad is here, Timmy, and Timmy, fantastic. Hey, you know what? Part of the Wolf Pack. That's right, baby. I'm really excited to talk about thing because I can't stop talking about it, and all I want to do is sit naked in a hot tub with a waterproof controller and play this game. And that game, it's Dragon's Dogma 2. So we're going to talk about it. Jonas, is that all you've been playing?
Almost. I've been playing some Helldivers as well.
Nice, man. You've been doing good. I really haven't. There wasn't a whole lot of BTS before the show. You've been getting anything outside of gaming? Any Norwegian adventures?
There you go.
Yeah. Anything outside of gaming you've been getting into?
Norwegian.
One of those, those Norwegian boards where you communicate with.
Yeah, Norwegian boards.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the video of like the guy pronouncing all the wrong ways that people say Ouija board? Like the way they spell it. It's
Ouija.
like, do you have an Ouija board? How do you do an Ouija board? Can I use a Luigi board? Is it
Oahi.
Is it
Hawaii.
safe to play with a Wahi board?
Dude, that is one of the funniest videos of
Or
all
Norwegian
time.
board?
It's the same YouTuber who does the "Is my girlfriend Prengan?"
Pregnernet?
Oh yeah.
Pregananan?
That makes sense.
Pregner?
It's amazing. Just guys, Prengan. That's another one. Or Pregananan. Anyway, you guys have no idea what we're talking about.
Am I
sorry, Jonas.
pregante?
Pregante. That was another one.
So anyway,
Pregat.
how's your Norwegian board doing?
Yeah, how's your
On the Ouija board is doing good, man. Yeah, no, I've been chilling, playing Helldivers with friends, playing Dragon's Dogma 2, and yeah, it's been chill. It's been good.
That's amazing. You're amazing. Jonas right now is actually standing. If you didn't know that.
No, I'm sitting. Don't lie, please.
Okay. Okay. Fantastic.
Don't talk about his
Marco.
legs like that.
It's a Norwegian. It's like they're like dwarves up there. They're like stout, but their legs are like little.
Yeah,
DeMarco,
Norwegians are really known for being short.
Listen, I've done my
Short.
research. Okay.
Short
I read
stature, thick thighs, gotta support all that, like...
The trunk.
Trust me, I know. Yeah, I know.
Jonas.
All them beastrin for nothing.
Wait, I have a question for Jonas. In Iceland, everywhere I went in Iceland, everybody had little elf houses or fairy houses outside, like the little homes, right? They would put in the countryside or in town or in front of their home. They were at the hot springs, like they were everywhere because they believe in this culture of gnomes, fairies. One or the
Okay,
other.
sure.
Does Norway have anything like that?
We don't have little houses, no.
You know what I'm talking
But
about? Like the
yeah,
little.
yeah. I know. I think I know what you're talking about. There's
Your little houses are
there's-
just
there's
normal
some
houses
tradition
to
around-
them.
there's some similar traditions around the same creature, I think, but we don't have little houses.
Okay.
We give him
That is-
porridge at
That
Christmas.
is the more you know about Norway. Renegade Realm podcast.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend. Listen, I'm Norwegian as well. I'm not actually Norwegian, but you know what I mean. I'm one of those fake Norwegians. I got the last name and
Norwegish.
everything. Norwegish. Yes.
He's Norwegian adjacent.
Norwegian. Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. So no skiing, anything like that?
No, not for me. Not now, anyways. But it's Easter, and Easter is really typical culturally. A time where you go skiing and hiking, and do all of that stuff.
That's exciting. I love that for you, as Colt would say. Damarco, how you been, man? Well, you've been busy. You don't have to go into detail with how busy, why you've been busy, or you can. I don't know.
Non-stop Dragon's Dogma perpetually. I swear to God, has not been, and a buddy of mine pointed this out too, just because they see me on Discord. I have not been this enraptured by a game, I think, since Skyrim came out. I kid you not. This game has completely just taken over, and I've had games that I've really loved, and I've sat down with, like, Jedi Survivor of recent memory comes to mind. I've really enjoyed it. I like the first better, but that's a different story. But, and I've had my fun with them, but where I'm just thinking about it constantly, and I just want to be here playing Dragon's Dogma, and where a game has me just walking around the world. Like, there's this, I'm sure we'll talk about personal anecdotal things in a bit, but I am so unbelievably immersed in the world that Dragon's Dogma and Capcom have created with it, and I strongly believe that this is... It'll be nominated for Game of the Year, for sure, 1,000%. 1,000%, and when everyone starts coming out with reviews later on in the year that has, like, the game title, and they're like, is this Game of the Year? I'm guilty of that, too, when I did my reviews. Just every title would be like, potential game, because I only played the good ones, so...
Right. It was actually, no lie, it was almost the title of this episode podcast. Game of the Year, question mark, exclamation point. And then an accidental comma at the end that I missed, and then I had to redo the thumbnail. But yeah.
I just have to say too, I keep seeing videos, I'm watching videos where people go, yeah, it's kind of a slow year for gaming this year, like 2023 was amazing, 2024 is a bit calmed down, and I go, dude, we're in March, we had Helldivers and Dragon's Dogma 2 in 3 months, and those are two stellar releases. Like, that's pretty damn kick-ass, if you ask me. It's
There's
already
several other games. Yeah, like Tekken came out at the end of January. You might not be a fighting person, but it scored really super
really well.
right? Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Did we also just forget about the success of Palworld?
Yeah.
Like
Dragon's
that
Dogma 2
happened?
wiped that game from my mind.
Remember that? Yeah.
That was the thing.
Outlast Trials, you guys have been really enjoying Outlast Trials, so there's another really great
Game of the year.
release.
And I
It's so
personally
Game
cannot
of the
wait
year.
for April, because there's one little strategy city building medieval simulator thing that's coming out.
Yeah.
The Manor game?
Manor
The
Lord.
Manor Lords.
Manor Lords, right.
Is
It's gonna be so good.
the Xbox Aura History Untold, that's not 2024, is it? Or
It
Isn't it
is,
late?
but it's like
It is.
October.
And dude,
It's
we're getting
October.
Wolfenstein this year. Not Wolfenstein, sorry, Indiana Jones by the Wolfenstein devs.
There you go.
It's a great year for games. Anyway, it's put
Absolutely.
me in a good mood. All this got me really excited.
I'm excited. Holly, are you? I mean, I've never like sat in a party with people like since I was like 16 and like played single player games like I have with Dragon's Dogma. We've been sitting in parties with like 4 or 5 people just playing Dragon's Dogma, talking about what's happening in our worlds. And Holly said it best. She's like, it sounds like when we're talking about what's happening in each other's worlds, it sounds like we're all playing different games as things are happening. I'm like, that is such a good point. Like, I'm like, I went to this village and helped this fisherman, and then someone else is like, I'm like stuck in a cave right now with these goo monsters. This other person's like, just, there's so many different things that are happening, which I'll never forget that hell cave that I had to go through. That was the worst thing ever in the best way.
The cave he's talking about, I found at level 4.
Right.
I don't
He
know what
found
cave
at
you're talking
level
about.
18 or something.
Is that the
like
one
that.
with the Lich Man?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Chimera and the Lich and the Lich King.
And the
I
one-
I
found
found
that
it
last
at
night.
level 4.
Bro, I was like, this is the worst thing ever in the best way possible as far as like what an adventure that was when I came out alive with like this much health left because I was like so beat down. I was so battle worn. I had like 15% of my maximum health left, and I was like just crawling out of the cave when I was done. It was amazing.
That's so funny. I
Anyway.
found it last night, like I was like level 25 or something. It was a walk in the park, man. I was well rested.
You got through it all. Did you clear it all? You got the Chimera and
Oh,
the
yeah.
Lich King and everything? You
Yeah,
piece
yeah.
of shit.
See,
I didn't find
I walked in.
I didn't find the Lich the first time around, but I came back to the cave to explore the rest of it, and then I did the Lich, and I did the Chimera for the second time, just for fun.
I was in that cave, and it was, I don't know, like 2 in the morning, and I was in a party with Jonas and one of my friends, and they were chatting, like hitting it off. I've lost one of my closest home friends to Jonas because now they're best friends. And I'm just sitting there exhausted, so I'm not saying much, but I'm going through the game, and I didn't want to leave because I didn't want to be like the first person to go and just leave my friend, like my good friend Jonas and my good friend Troy, both together in a party, and feel like I'm losing both my friends. So I'm sitting there exhausted at 2 in the morning going through this cave, and I just keep going further. And I ran into that room with the Lich. I was like, this dungeon has to be over. Like, it has to be over. And then I hit the Lich room, and one of my pawns just fell off the cliff face that leads to, like, where the Chimera is, which I'd killed the Chimera before getting there. But so I had the new shield ability, like as a fighter, that lets you brace yourself with the shield and jump off the cliff. And I thought that negated all of your fall damage. So I, in my infinite wisdom, with my 1:30 a.m. brain, was like, it's fine, I could just jump down there and revive them. And I do, and I fell off the cliff. And instantaneously, it's just like, you died. Oh no, your journey is over. And I was very, very sad. And 2 a.m. Damarco couldn't process that, so I'm just sitting there staring at the screen like...
Holly was in the party with me whenever I opened up that box. I was like, ooh, I have never seen a box like this! And then as soon as you open up the box, the Lich King flies out and just scared the shit out of me, and I pooped all over
Yeah,
the walls.
yeah.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Also, he's making like Skeletor laughing noises if you run away from him, and then you're going through the dungeon, and you'll just hear him like, off in the distance.
I love it, dude. It's so good.
it's like the villagers in Minecraft.
Right. Right, exactly. Huh, that's what it was. Right. Holly, I didn't get a chance to like introduce you, but how are you? You've been playing Dragon's Dogma. Have you been playing anything other than Dragon's Dogma?
Outlast Trials.
Oh, well, yeah, that too.
Yes. And Call of Duty. But that's pretty much it. I mean, since Friday, right? What did I play? Oh, I played Up last week again a little bit. That game is so much fun if you're looking for a co-op game online. And I had a very different experience in that dungeon because I found it at level 4. Because I was like, hey, I'm gonna skip across these rocks and go pick those roots over there. Oh, what's this? I like have a really bad habit of like just a little further and I'll just go look at this before I come back and keep going the way I'm going, right? And I found that cave and I was like, just go in and see what's in here. And it kept going. It kept going. And I found the Chimera and I hit it about 48 times and the health bar moved about a single hair's width because I was level 4 and I was like, that's it. I ran out of the room and I kept going through it and I was about half health and I got up to the room with the pretty chest and I was like, ooh, this is gonna be really good. And I opened it and it was really bad. Like I tried to fight him for a minute and I was like, and I ran out, bye, gone. And I marked the cave and I said, I'll be back for you. Because I can't do it. Plus, that's where I found my first Seeker token, and I had been reading the article by Jez Corden on Windows Central that was like, here's a few beginner's tips I really wish I knew, right? And one of the things that he had said was, just make sure you mark where you got your first Seeker token and you remember it. That's all I'll say. You'll want to know. And I was like, so when I was like walking through the cave and I find the first Seeker token, it's in the middle of the cave. I was like, oh, damn it. Like, I'm going to have to come back here at some point. Yes. Right. So you both look, Damarco is
I'm trying, now it's going to stress me out. I'm going to be picking up all this because I've been picking up everyone I find. I've never found a game where it's like, find 200 collectibles. And all the time I'm like, yeah, and I do the first 15 to 20 and then I start
and then you get tired of it, right?
Again, when I say I have not been immersed in a world this much in a long time, I love finding those stupid coins. And I go out of my way. Like, I'm looking at the ground. I'm looking at every single place. I know they kind of hide them, so you start to see the patterns. And I'm doing it because I want to. I'm so enamored, and I can't remember where I found it because, dude, I've been exploring nonstop. Not like Jonas is telling me how he's at whatever point in the main quest, and I look at his map, and there's all like black patches where he hasn't wandered around, and I open mine, and every single corner is like uncovered and explored, and I was what I say was I 30 hours in, or like 30 hours of playing the game. I hadn't talked to Brant or whatever his name is in the tavern.
Right. You told me that.
I've been playing for 30 hours and I hadn't done the second tutorial quest basically.
Yeah.
I had not done. I didn't do the thing that gives you the extra vocations because I was just exploring the world and like doing some miscellaneous quests. So I only had the starting vocations. I did not do anything with Brant. I was, oh man, I've just been
I'm a stupid idiot. I've been buying all those things, all of those upgrades and all the extra fight attacks and all that stuff, but I'm a moron. And I didn't realize until literally today that all of those things I've been buying and mapping to different buttons, that they're not working unless you use your left bumper and then hit the button. I just thought they were like, your like your melee, like your impale attack. Oh yeah, the Y button is on that. It just automatically does it. So I was like, I've been fighting the hard way the whole time.
Yeah, you've been
it's gonna get a lot easier from now on.
That's like Baldur's Gate tactician mode.
Yes. So I have not played Baldur's Gate yet. But anyway, it's fun. It is actually, yeah, it was crazy because we're all where we were all pretty close to the same level. There was a couple people in the party that were, I don't know, 8 to 10 levels higher than us. But Red and another person were like about the same level, and they're like talking about, oh yeah, this, and I was like, I haven't seen any of that. What are you on about? I don't know what that is. And then he was like, did you get your house yet? And I'm like, I get a house? What?
Right. You get 2 houses that
like,
I know of.
I go to the place, the lady isn't there. You have 2 houses?
I don't have it. I just know of 2 that you can get.
The lady wasn't there, and I'm like, Red, you're lying. She's not here. What's going on? And like, I had to go sleep, pay $2,000 to sleep, and go back, and this and this, and then finally she was there, and I was just like, okay, like, it's just, it is cool. Everybody's doing something different, and I love that. I love that for us. Except that I will tell you that Red's Pawn told me today that he only hires women for his party, and he wondered what was up with that.
He said it's
clipped
one of
it.
my other masters.
I
only
clipped
hires
it and I
women.
said it to him. I said, exposed.
Yeah. I
That's
was like,
so
it says
funny.
one of my masters, not me.
It's him. It's totally him.
I only
It's
go.
so
I
cool.
try to only go with like only one woman or just all men, so I could have all of my boys gallivanting across the world of Dragon's Dogma, slaying demons and crap.
Right. I
I
like
love
to have
getting
at
my
least
husky
one
men
woman.
followers.
And then
I either
when
do
the
it,
people
like,
hire your pawn, they're gonna hear, "Oh, my master, he only
hired
goes
men.
around with dudes." Like, what's up with that?
Right, like what's up with that? Isn't that weird?
Did you get that line yet,
Right,
Jonas?
Master?
I know you've taken Reginald Jr. around for a spin.
What was it?
Did you get that line yet? I'm curious because I know you've taken Reginald Jr.
I can't recall. He was
this
with me
Damarco's
for a short
pawn?
while, then I finished his quest, and you have given him a new one, so.
Gotcha. My pawn is Reginald Jr. We don't talk about Reginald Sr.
Okay.
What's also funny is my pawn is named Garfield because he's a big cat man.
Is he
And
orange?
you know, no, he was originally when I made him, but then right before I switched his colors. But Red, when he first took Garfield out, I'd hear, "Damn it, Garfield! Get back here!" Like, Garfield, you're so annoying. I hate you. But then he'd be
He
like,
is such a
"Oh,
dick.
Garfield, thanks a lot." And then he was like, "I kind of like Garfield, but I don't
Yeah.
like his attitude."
Cause like my pawn, like I would be like standing there like going through my inventory. I'm like, all right, let's go. And then I'd hear one of my pawns. She'd be like, "Now's not the time to be lousing about. We're here to protect the Arisen." And then I look over. There's Garfield sitting on the ground like, "Yes, I understand. I'll be ready in a moment." And I'm like, "Get the fuck off, dude!" Like, and she's always like getting onto him about not like just being a lazy asshole. And then he has the gall to tell me what to do, like, "Oh, maybe if we were more careful, Arisen, we wouldn't be in this predicament." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up, Garfield!" And then he saves
So he's
my
both
life. I'm
like sassy and lazy, so his name fits perfectly.
yeah, it's that's really true. I didn't even think about that. He's role playing. He's role playing.
He is who he is. Yeah, can't
Right,
escape
right.
his namesake.
It's fantastic. You know, well, speaking of fantastic, Assassin Entertainment has joined us. Are you here before I introduce you? Great, wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yadani Kazada, you don't have to apologize, boo boo. Glad to see you though. I'm glad you're here. Assassin, how are you, man? Are you we're talking about Dragon's Dogma 2 for everyone that just jumped in. Are you enthralled by Dragon's Dogma 2? Is it taking over your life? And if not, what have you been playing, man?
Yeah, Red, I can't get past that 30 frames per second. I'm sorry, I just can't play it. I mean, I
well.
tried my best, and nah, I'm just kidding. The uncapped frame rate on PS5, it actually makes it feel like it's 60, even though I know it's not. I do see some dips sometimes, but thankfully nothing nauseating. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with Dragon's Dogma. I think this might be the first game that all of us can agree, like, yeah, this is a great video game.
Nice. And I know you've been playing a lot of Batman, so you know.
I
Dragon's
have.
Dogma.
So for those that don't know, well, you wouldn't know because unless you're stalking me, you wouldn't know. So there's this game store in town that I recently went to. Red, Holly, you guys know what's there. I mean, I had to make an agreement with Holly that I'll get her. They have a BioShock 2 Xbox 360 Special Edition still perfect condition. So I'm gonna get it for her, and then she's gonna pay for shipping. Of course, Red, I tried to find more X-Men games, but all they had was the one that I sent you. So the 360 section, they had Arkham Origins, they had Hitman Absolution, they had a lot of great games that I couldn't find, or they're not backwards compatible on the Microsoft Store. So I got them, and basically I've been playing Batman Arkham Origins as well as Dragon's Dogma. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun playing a new video game as who I am now, but also playing a video game that I used to love as a kid. The Arkham series is literally one of my favorites. One of my all-time favorite video game franchises ever.
I wanted to ask you about that. So are you, because this is what I plan on doing. I've been on this kick lately of going back and playing games that I played before, but it's been a few years since I played them, and it's sort of like my last run playing them. I'm doing it with The Witcher. I just did it with Cyberpunk. Are you doing that with Batman? Because I plan on going through everything in order: Origins, Asylum, City, and Night. Is that what you're gonna do? You going through all of them in order?
I'm going through them in chronological order, like you said. Yeah, Origins, then Asylum, City, and then Night. It's a shame. It's a shame we never got a 5th game in that franchise, Red. Don't you think? It's a shame.
Oh man, yeah. I don't even want to get started.
If only we had like Batman Beyond or something like that instead. I don't know, man.
It would be cool if the Arkham franchise continued after Arkham Knight. That'd be pretty neat.
It would
would
been
be,
really
yeah,
cool if there was
or-
a game that didn't. Anyway.
Or maybe if maybe a spin-off on the
there
whole
wa-
Batman family where you could like interchange between Batgirl, Robin and Nightwing, Red Hood. That would have been great.
Right. Oh, I forgot to share the show out. Hey,
I-
shout out to
I-
everyone who's
I-
here and I didn't share out the show. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Leave a like, share it out if you can. That'd be really appreciated. And I'll tweet it out too. Go ahead, Damarco.
I get that you guys are playing it in like chronological order, but I have to say I've come to really appreciate playing it in release order because of what happens in Arkham City. I think that Arkham Origins is a perfect moment, especially when you consider the DLC for Arkham City, where Batman's just kind of gone. They don't really know what he's up to. I feel like Arkham Origins, especially because if you really want to get into the nitty gritty, some things are not really timeline. It's only the kind of the super fans that I think notice this, but it doesn't actually line up consistently. So I like to think that.
Oh.
Oh,
Ruff,
Yeah, you got a little.
Rough.
he
internet
froze.
issue, Marco.
Oh damn.
ruff, ruff.
Ruh-roh.
I like to think.
Marco,
Roof.
Peggy? You're good
We're
now.
back.
What's up,
Okay.
Matthew?
We're back.
Yeah.
We're back. Yep.
I like to think that Arkham Origins is a subjective, like it's from Batman or Bruce Wayne's point of view, reflecting on a very important character. And he's like kind of recounting those events after the events of Arkham City, if that makes any sense.
I'm not sure Batman's really the type to reflect unless he has to. But yeah,
He's a brooder.
that's actually a pretty good theory. Yeah, he broods, but he doesn't reflect on his past unless it's brought up to him. I mean,
He dresses
doesn't
up in
just
a bat to
continuously
avenge
bring-
his parents. I think that's the epitome of reflecting on his past.
You know what? Valid
okay. That is a valid point. I meant talking wise. And shut up, Space Cop.
No, he's not talking. It's like an like Arkham Origins. I've always seen as a subjective internal monologue of his perspective of his like the events that happened in that game. Because after Arkham City, he kind of disappears, and during that time, I imagine Arkham Origins is his self-reflection.
You know Marco, I don't know if you know this, but Suicide Squad apparently ruined Origins as well, not just the original trilogy, but Origins as well. Deadshot in both Origins and City is implied to be from an alternate Earth, and the one from Suicide Squad is the actual Deadshot. Like,
No, they said it was imposters.
how does that make sense?
They said he says it.
No.
They said it's imposters.
Well,
like
yeah.
I think Rocksteady.
Well,
during
yeah,
interviews.
In the beginning, Deadshot says, "Oh yeah, that guy was an imposter." But if you play later into the game, it's actually heavily implied that that imposter was from Earth 2, which I have no idea how the hell that makes sense.
You know, it'd be really cool if such a
But-
game existed, but it doesn't. So I don't think we need to spend
It
more
would.
time on it.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah, that's literally the one game we all hate.
I don't know.
So
what
let's
game
keep
you're
talking about the game
either.
that we all love. Green Lantern, Beyond Hope.
Is that a game?
No, I wish it was. Just the look on his face, though.
Marco got excited. He's like, "There's a game about me?" No, I'm kidding. So speaking of
Yeah,
really...
the thing is, I don't know why he gets upset when I call him that. When one of his favorite games of all time is literally him role playing as a space cop. So I have no idea.
What's one of my favorite games? Oh, Mass Effect.
Yeah. Basically.
You're not a space cop.
Yeah, you're kind of a.
And what is it then? What is
an intergalactic hero.
There
Of
you
the
go.
people.
Love
So,
that.
space. Top.
The final frontier.
Space
That's more-
cop. Well,
More like space. Stop calling me
right,
Green Lantern.
exactly. Oh, there we go. Time
Yeah,
Cop, the
no,
video
not gonna
game?
happen ever.
That might have been a video game. Like you're probably like a top-down GBC, GBA, GBC. Anyway, DeMarco,
By the way,
you
Red,
were
I don't know
just-
if you read this
Yeah.
or not, but you forgot to read what Yudani said.
Oh, Yudani, he said, hello to the jovial Jonas, the ascended assassin, the hallowed Holly, the delightful DeMarco, and the terrific Ted. Thank you so much. I love that. I love you.
Hallowed
I love
Holly,
you for
what is he
that.
trying to say? That Holly's dead inside?
No, not hollowed.
What is he-
Holly.
Hollow.
Hallowed.
Oh,
She's empty inside.
Yeah. Holly, show us your insides. Prove that you're real.
I should go.
For a second there, I was
Yikes.
like, do I not understand what hallowed means? And then I was like, oh no, it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Anyway,
He's-
thank you for that.
well, I didn't-
Very creative.
well, I skimmed over what he said, but I didn't actually like read it. I knew what he was calling us. It's just I thought that was an O. Not an A.
It's more about you than assassin.
It is a you thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
all right,
piss
listen,
off.
Let's get back to this thing. So DeMarco, you're just bussing. They say like they say on the streets at the seams about this game. Take us away. Yes, just shaking. Take us away. Let's kick this
Dragon's
thing off.
Dogma.
Let's talk about Dragon's Dogma and
Dragon's Dogma.
I'll just kick it to you, man. I'll kick it to you. You kick it to you. Let's kick it around,
I
man.
just wanna like say why this. So the thing about Dragon's Dogma 2, and I think we all feel this, is it captures, and IGN, I know how some people feel about IGN, but I didn't read the article, I just saw kind of the top line of it, where they were saying it kind of captures some of those feelings of Skyrim, and I unequivocally agree. You know, I think the one thing, we spent a while in the beginning of the show talking about this one dungeon, and there's a lot of dungeons, some of them a lot more straightforward, it's just kind of go through this cave, and some, you know, which is expected, but there's others like the one we were talking about, which really is such a juxtaposition from what Starfield had to offer. And then you wander around the landscape of Dragon's Dogma. And I mean, I spent time recently, I got to kind of where the elven part of the world is. And I was just, I kid you not, you have this NPC who's sort of leading you to a destination. I don't want to get into any spoiler territory, so I'll keep it as vague as possible.
There's elves?
Crap. Yeah, well, there are elves.
I didn't know that.
They mentioned as much in the promo material. Like
You
they.
didn't
Oh,
watch my
you
video,
already
Holly.
ruined it.
Okay,
You didn't
well,
watch my video.
You didn't know
my
about the elves?
video.
No, I did watch your video.
Yeah, I mentioned that in the video.
You didn't know about the elves?
I didn't watch your video because I wanted to go in blind.
Everyone
Exposed.
in the game has a little house that the elves live.
That's right. She was just talking about
I
it.
deserve that.
Fascinating story. Any chance you're nearing the end?
Listen. If
so
anyone's gonna
anyway,
tell
I'm
us to
walking
move
around.
on-
I'm walking around in that landscape, and I'm just he's guiding, and I'm just walking through it, looking at everything because. And the developers mentioned this. They said, "Oh, there's limited fast travel," and they said, "Don't worry about the limited." They didn't say this way, but they're like, don't worry about it. Like the world's cool to walk through." And I understand now. I get it. I understand now. If you
Yep.
watch Rick and Morty, Ice-T.
Holly, you said.
what's
Sorry,
Rick and
just to
Morty?
jump in real quick because that's something that I wanted to ask real quick, and just hold your thought, DeMarco. Holly and Assassin both were somebody were both saying that I don't know how much patience I have with walking around the world and not being able to fast travel and whatnot. Do you think that this is a good example, Holly, of how open worlds with limited fast travel should be? Because whenever and in my video I did talk about Itsuno, he said traveling around the world with no fast travel it's not walking around everywhere, it's not boring. It's that your game is boring, and you have to make it interesting step by step and have something happening along the way. Do you think that they've nailed it here for someone who you said you were kind of expecting to be maybe a little bit peeved by being forced to travel around?
So I have some griefs with it, but probably not in the way you would
Objection.
expect. Okay.
Dragon's Dogma 2 is
It's overruled.
I should go.
So my experience going from Melv to the capital, right?
Vermont,
Yeah,
the
Vermont.
super
right.
memorable capital
So-
that everybody
Yeah,
remembers.
exactly.
When I went to
And we're-
Vermouth, the trip there, like, it took me. That's why everybody else was like, "Oh, I did this. Oh, I did this," because it took me so long. It
To
took
get to Vermont.
hours and hours to get over to Vermling Land because
Yeah, to get to the
the
Treaty of Versailles.
yes. I was
Yeah, there you go.
so over encumbered. Everybody in my party was heavy and fat. And like
And wounded.
I mean, I stopped and rested, right? And I did that and I crafted as often as I could to try to like compress weight and all that stuff. But my only complaint with the map or the system so far is not that you have to walk here or there, because I actually do like if I would prefer to walk in a video game than drive or take a whatever, right? But I just wish there were opportunities for storage crates or like
Shipping containers.
workbenches every once in a while, or
Oh,
you know what I
on the
mean, like out
way.
in the world.
Right.
Yes. Instead of having all of this stuff on me all the time and being worried like, well, if I go out too far, I'll walk all the way back, right? To get back to a place where I can offload something. So I just
But-
wish I had access to a storage box,
Like maybe being
you know,
able
like your
to
universal
store
storage
it,
box at your camp.
maybe be able to do
right?
it at the camp. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's my only real complaint about like the fact that you have to walk everywhere for the most part. Like I don't mind the journey, but I don't like the encumbrance system or the lack of ease of not being over. I was like I said to Red in the this is like the first 6 hours, I was like, I feel like I'm in Starfield again. I'm over encumbered all the time. Like it's really annoying. And I'm eating every gold beetle I can find, but 0.1 kilograms extra health or weight is not enough, right?
Right.
So that's my only complaint actually about not fast traveling.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and I think there is like the management. Like, luckily you do have like your party members to throw stuff to. For me, there's something like cathartic about getting back into a town from being fat and overweight and wounded and stinky, and unloading all that stuff and selling everything and throwing and luckily Dragon's Dogma does what Monster Hunter does, which same company that made that, where you deposit all of your crafting materials into your box. You don't even need to have them on you whenever you craft. So that's nice. So you just immediately just toss all of your crafting stuff in your box. Don't think about it anymore. But I get what you're saying. So like for me, I take bare minimum. I'm like, I have like 10, I'll have like 10 of a certain type of potion. I'm like, I'm gonna just deposit like 4 of these in my chest and just keep what I have.
do that.
And it's combine everything. You're doing the whole thing, combine everything, and then you're like, all right, now I'm at average weight after all that. It's like, fuck. So I do get it. That is tedious, but it is part of like, and even your pawns.
I don't even mind not being able to upgrade anything and having to go back to town to do all of that stuff. Character, gear, whatever. Just inventory management is something that particularly frustrates me. And I
That's
play
so fascinating.
Fallout and all
to me.
that stuff.
Because
Like, yeah, I play all Bethesda games and I love them, but the opportunity to dump your stuff is so much more frequent in those games.
You're
yeah,
done.
it's so fascinating to me. because I fascinating story. I agree with I definitely lean more towards red side of it, right? Where there's a bit of it is a bit cathartic, but you know, you plan for your journey, you take whatever the minimum you can depending on what you want to do. But when I'm out and exploring, to use Starfield as an example, right? You just feel like you're encumbered all the time. In Starfield, it was annoying because its systems encouraged you to pick up all this stuff. Like the game wanted you to have all of the junk so that you can use it for all these other purposes. Versus Dragon's Dogma, where you need that stuff, but it is not quintessential. You can go out and say, well, you know, I want to upgrade my gear, but I don't really need to pick up all of these goblin horns because I don't need it right now, you know, and I already have 50 in my chest, so I just leave them behind. So as opposed to that game design, I do get it. There's an ease, there's a convenience with being able to drop all that stuff off. For sure.
Right. Hey, Jonas.
Hey,
What
Red.
do you think about traveling around the world and walking everywhere?
Where's my
would-
feet?
Oh, does it hurt you? Okay. Is that something you deal with? Do you ever do the jumping into the ice cold water thing?
No,
No. Okay. Well,
my mom does all the time though.
It's funny because like I would say like, I guess after The Witcher 3, in games I always do walk everywhere. I like to walk everywhere, but it's like, because people say like if you would rather fast travel not be there, just don't do it. But it's like, you know that it's there in the back of your head, you know that you can do it, but there's something about being forced on a path. Like whenever I play Skyrim, for example, I mod my save to where there is more wagons in smaller villages, so that way you can you know the one I'm talking about. And also I put the one where there's lampposts on roads, there's signs to point you in the right direction, and there's something so nice about like actually being able to see the world organically rather than just bouncing. Dude, Fallout 4 is one of the Fallout in general is one of those games where, dude, by like 20 hours, I mentioned that in my video, like 20 hours in, you were just like all over the place, just teleporting. But you're not even like trying to like walk anywhere anymore. And so that discoverability is sort of lost because you didn't discover it organically. You teleported somewhere and then walked left or walked right. So Witcher 3 started that for me, or I guess that sort of unlocked something in my brain where I go, I actually would prefer to lessen fast travel. Even in Cyberpunk, it has a similar system, but those fast travel points are very, very close together, unlike The Witcher 3. So how has fast travel? How you like it? You like how the traveling is? Does it add something for you?
I like that it is possible, but you're sort of forced to pay to do it. Like you have to use an item in order to do it, and not just. Well, you can use the Ox card, which is not the same thing as instant fast travel, but
right. There's a risk there too, yeah.
Yeah, and that's cool. I really like that. Now, I mean, I don't mind it. I really like walking around. I'm the kind of person who, added that onto, like a rule onto myself when playing Skyrim for the 115th time. Like, I'm not going to use fast travel because I want to, add something more to how the world is experienced.
Yeah, and the hike or the walk or however I'm weird. I walk so
The
much.
journey,
yeah, like I literally walk. And like if you can walk in a game, I'm walking a lot. And you're like, how can you literally walk at that pace and be happy? I'm looking around, I'm just immersing myself. But the walk from Whiterun to Riverrun or
Riverwood.
Riverwood. Yeah,
You need to play Skyrim again.
I know it's been a long time, and for the 127th time, that is such a beautiful walk, and you wouldn't see that otherwise if you just,
Right.
Assassin. Have you been you liking you were the other one saying, I'm gonna be bored by this, and I don't know how much time you have in it, but one thing that I noticed whenever I was playing, I was like, oh, I actually haven't fast traveled in a long time. And like Holly said, you get distracted. Like, I'm just going to go over here and check this thing out real quick, and I'll come back to this thing. And then before you know it, you're 10 miles away, and you're like, well, fuck that. I don't even know what the fuck I was doing. How has your experience been with the fast travel, or the lack of fast travel?
Well, let's clear something up. I never complained about a lack of fast travel. In fact, I didn't even
You
really
did.
know about that till. No, I did not. I
Yep,
didn't.
you did. I literally have it on text. I have it screenshotted.
Oh, you do.
It's in
Okay,
group
please
chat.
send it to me so I can.
I will.
Please send it to me so I can actually remind myself, please.
Go ahead.
All right.
Continue.
All right, fine. Then if that's the case, then I apologize and. Oh, alright, fine. Anyway, lack of fast travel. I'm more on Holly's side on this. It's not that I don't like it, but can someone please tell me why the camping set has to be at 2/3 of your weight? Why? Literally, I had the urge to just get rid of it just so I can get below average on my weight. And the second
Well-
thing about the fast travel, there's again, nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with walking around. But can I please fight something else besides Saurians and goblins, please? Like, I was walking around for 3 hours. Those two and harpies were the only 3 things I fought. Only one other thing showed up, and that was a freaking Minotaur, and I think that was on the way to either Melv or Venworth. But that fight, yeah, I died a couple times, but that fight, that was the only interesting thing walking between towns. Like,
Have you?
I get
how many
that
hours
some-
Are you in?
I think like 5 or 6 now. I'm like a level 14 fighter vocation.
Okay.
But at those 2 things are really the smallest bits of complaint I have for the game. Why does my camping set have to take 2/3 of my weight? And can I please fight something new and different, please?
You know the capping
That's
set
literally it.
is reusable, right? You don't have to carry multiple. Some people have been confused by that.
I was too.
No.
It's
I'm
gonna
only
break
carrying
after
one.
I use
I'm
it.
only carrying one.
Okay. Just making sure. Just making sure you know. Yeah, no, they're very heavy. I'm just making sure that you're not carrying like one on
Yeah,
you,
can we cut
one
that
on
in
your
half,
pawn,
please?
one on the next.
For fuck's sake.
That's actually why I specifically made
Wait.
Severin the way he is. He's big and bulky, and he's like, I've got it for you. And he just carries everything.
And the
for me.
fighter assassin, there is a core skill that will increase your carrying weight.
Yeah, the few ability. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Okay,
THQ.
alright, then I have not upgraded my character since they were level 5, so it's probably time to do that now.
Yeah, you should do that.
Probably a good time to do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last time I did that in a video game, I was literally playing Mass Effect for the first time, and I was telling Red, because we were in a party, I'm like, Red, why am I dying so damn much? Does it get harder as the game goes on? I was like, then I looked at Shepard, and
He
I was like,
hadn't,
oh,
he hadn't been leveled
I
up at
hadn't
all.
upgraded anything.
He had like
I hadn't leveled
29
up anything.
points to distribute. He's like, well,
30
I got some work
points
to do.
to distribute. It's like,
Yeah.
well, that's why.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
And then you killed the boss instantly. He was on oh god. Oh my god, I'm a Mass Effect fan. I'm a fake fan. It's where you're fighting the
I
poisoned
was-
queen. The poisoned
Thorian?
Yeah, that's it. That's
The
it. Yeah, where it
Thorian.
looks like you're
Yes,
fighting in a
yes.
car garage.
yes. And he was like, I don't understand how to kill this. It's one-shotting me every time, and I'm like, why? And then he checked, and he's like, I killed it in one shot. After or whatever. Anyway, sorry, Damarco. I said hold that thought, and now I went on a whole thing. Please.
I'm gonna be right back, by the way.
Oh, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Here, let's wait. How the hell did he do that?
Cool.
How the what? What?
Yeah. I need
Because
that.
Hey.
he runs things through OBS. Remember, like he has OBS running on his own end.
That's
Oh,
amazing.
Yeah.
And by the way, everyone in chat, Damarco. I was looking at Damarco saying not yet in chat. Jonas is the one who literally made everything you see here, so he made that intro and everything. So he owns the rights to that. So that's amazing. It's so cool to see it up there. I love that. I want that up there all the time. Once I get a better PC, I'll be able to do. We'll take away this Geralt and Garrus, and you'll see everything running a lot. Anyway, Damarco. Hey, what else you want to talk about with Dragon's Dogma?
I could go on for ages. I think the world is fantastic. The level design is great. The immersion factor is completely there. I don't mind the traveling. It completely has those Fellowship of the Ring like vibes, which is exactly what I wanted.
It's
But it also
exactly what I
has
said, bro. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful looking. The game is absolutely gorgeous. You just get these moments where you just the lighting is done really well in some spots. But what I will say too is they have the randomness to it as well. So you know those stories where Red, you're talking about how your party was 3/4 dead. You're going through that dungeon. I had something similar where I found this random guy who's like, please escort me. And those missions are generally boring, right? I don't want to just escort Joe Schmo to get to, you know, his little donut meetup. So I brought him to Sleepaway Camp, and we're on our way to Sleepaway Camp. It gets to nighttime, and as you know, nighttime's scary. So we're going through scary nighttime as I'm trying to take this guy to Sleepaway Camp, and we get most of the way there, traveling through the nighttime. My entire party is exhausted. We have maybe a quarter of our health bar left. My whole party nearly dead, and we get nearly to the destination, and this man falls into the water and dies, just gone.
Oh
Poof.
no!
And I am pissed because like Vernworth is over here. We're all the way up north, across the bridge, all the way over here, like miles away from the city. My party's
Right.
half dead. It's nighttime, and I'm pissed. I'm like, Jesus.
Did you just kill yourself?
No, I did. I want in
You
real life,
should
yeah.
have.
I was waiting to do that on stream. So
Just jump in the water after him. It's fine.
so I was like, whatever,
my
it's
God.
fine. It's hysterical. Like it's really funny. And we start
Yeah, I
walking
got a
our way
story
back
after
to
Marco.
Vernworth. The morning is rising over. I don't know if it actually shines over Vernworth like from behind.
Oop.
Technically,
Oh.
no.
I lost him again.
Oh, okay.
There he is.
You're good.
Speeding up.
You're good. Continue.
Hey.
The sun was rising
The
behind
sun
Vernworth.
is rising, illuminating Vernworth off in that long stretch of road to get to the city. And I'm going there. I'm like, loity toity toy. We're finally back. Dawn is rising. It's playing the da-da-da-da-da-da-da music in the background.
Yeah.
Everything's great. My party's still half dead, fat and tired and stinky. And then we just see a little ogre that's along the road. And I go, you know what? Ogres aren't really a problem for me. My party can handle it. And we start fighting the ogre. We're doing a damn fine job of dispatching this ogre for Vernworth justice to make the roads safer for travelers and peddlers alike. And then out of nowhere, I'm climbing atop the griffin, stabbing it mercilessly in the head. And then a griffin just flies in. I don't hear it. I don't see it. I don't realize anything going on. And then just like body slams itself into the ogre. And now we're dealing with the griffin and the ogre. And as I'm like, shoot, so I go after the griffin while my party's fighting the ogre, and I'm climbing on top of the griffin's face, stabbing that mercilessly in the head. And I see as I'm stabbing it off in the distance, a bunch of little like of the Saurians are just like across the ground coming to join the fight
Yeah,
as well.
dude.
They're
Yeah.
just like sliding on the ground.
That's such a
So
good.
we're fighting.
That's how they crawl. Yeah.
We're fighting the griffin that body slammed the troll with the Saurians client, and it's just absolute and utter chaos. And Vernworth is looking glorious off in the distance, which I was trying to get to because my party is fat, tired, and stinky.
Right.
And this is after failing the quest to lead the merchant to go to Sleepaway Camp. And so, like, that kind of moment in a game is just, it's a 10 out of 10 moment, and you don't get that. So, you know, you can have things like microtransactions. It is hard to be angry at the microtransactions when I'm having this much fun. And I've been so vocal in the past, and I continue. They're horrible. I hate them. There's only one good argument I've seen for them. One good argument, that's it. But it's hard to be mad when I'm having this much fun, because no game has given me experiences like this in a very long time.
Assassin, you were
So-
saying you had a story, little story.
I had a couple of stories. One, the Minotaur that I told you guys from earlier. So something that I've been doing with my pawn, sometimes they speak and I talk back, you know, unintentionally. You know, pretending like I'm having a conversation with the actual pawns. So the my main pawn starts speaking. He starts trash talking, which, Fred, you'll understand once you see him. And then I start trash talking back. I'm like, what, you gonna hit me? Go ahead, hit me. Then all of a sudden, the music starts playing, and all of a sudden, I'm like, yeah. So music was playing, I was like, yep. Sounds like something's gonna happen. Turn around, and there's the fucking Minotaur. I was like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden, he charges through me and the fucking party. I'm like, I get slammed into the cliff. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm gonna have nightmares after this. Like, how? Why? Why did I not hear you come up from behind me? What the hell? And all of a sudden, my main pawn's healing me. He's like, don't worry, I can heal you. I'm like, motherfucker, you better do it. You're right next to me, you're supposed to fucking heal. You're a fucking mage.
There was, I feel like, I mean, some of the most amazing. I had a moment recently, actually. I have been traveling, following my pawn, by the way, because he's like, Arisen, I know the way. Let me show you. I know the way to go. And I'm like, all right, really bro, I'm gonna trust you. You know, which, by the way, whenever I search for pawns, I uncheck the only show pawns with quest knowledge because I don't. It's not that I don't like it. I want to find it myself. You know what I mean?
It's a bit intrusive the way they do it too. It's a little,
and they're like, come on, and you're like,
all the time, and you can't use the go command to do like just to tell them to spread out because if you do, then they're automatically like, I know where to go, and you're like, no, I just get away, like stop, not the to me, not the help, just go. You're in my personal space.
and by the way, you can't whenever they say, do you want me to help, you can say to me, and then they'll be like, okay, I got you. I want to help.
But then they all come closer, and you can't spread them out because if you try to say go to spread them out, they go, well, all right, I'm ready to help you.
That's I just mean like in terms of like traveling around, and they're like, I know where to go, and you can be like, you can say, because if you look at the guide, it's like different things mean different things depending on what they're asking for. So you know, and you guys know this, like Severin, who is my bro, my dude. Like he's a warrior, so he's got the big giant sword, and there was a chest up on a ledge, and he was like, I don't know how to get up there, but if we combine our strength, I might be able to help you. Should we try to? You want me to help you? And I hit go, and he's like, all right, come here, Arisen, and he had his sword ready. And I ran up to him, and he threw me up onto the ledge where the chest was. And I was like, bro, like that kind of stuff is amazing. And it doesn't like, there's no like buttons tied to that other than just like you choosing what to say in that moment, And it's so amazing. And talking about like characters that died, you were like, oh my God. I think Holly was in the party whenever this happened to me. So I am at the armor, like repairing stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so much more powerful now. And I hear like screaming in the background. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I run down the street. There is an ogre at the gate, and all these guards are like, kill it, and they're like, I'm like, what the fuck is there an ogre in the city? And so, long story short, I fought this ogre forever, and I tried to keep it at the gate, like using like the shield bash to be like, come to me, like trying to keep it away from civilians. So I killed the ogre, and it was an awesome fight. At one point, the ox carrier literally, you know how the ogre does like the drop kick? He literally drop kicked the ox dude into like a pile of boxes, and he got up and he was fine. I was like, thank God. There was one moment where a guard got like backhanded into, so as soon as you walk into Vermont, there's the two kiosks on the left. There's the red one and the light blue one. There are like a bunch of boxes over there, and I saw a guard just get bitch slapped across, and he landed into these pile of boxes, and I'm like, he's fine, like I'll get to him. So I killed the ogre, and I was like, just to be safe, I'm going to walk around the streets, let everyone disperse. I'm going to make sure the ox cart guy's good. I'm going to make sure no civilians died, because when people die in this game, they're dead. You know, they're dead. And so I looked around and was like, I don't see anyone. And I was like, wait, what about the dude that got bitch slapped? So I walk over to the kiosk, and there's like a body like this, all crumpled, twisted up. And I go to like hit B on him to like interact with him. It's Brandt is dead. The main quest giver for the main quest is dead, broken neck, broken back. He is just broken, completely dead.
Damn.
Laying there. And I'm like, that is so amazing to me that the main quest giver just died like in front of me. And luckily I had a wake stone and I revived him. And as soon as I revived him, it said, bloop, achievement unlocked. You've maxed out an affinity with a character. I'm like, I would hope that would be the way to max out an affinity. So anyway, it was just an amazing realization. Like, you literally, anything could happen in this game. And it's just, they've capitalized on so many small systems that they implemented in the first game into this one, where they said, let's do that more and do it better this time. And that's just one of those things where every NPC, even though in one of my complaints is like the weird camera when you interact with NPCs. Really hope that they update that. It's just really weird. I still can't get used to it. Like, I'd rather it pull back behind my character at the very least, but it's like swinging around this awkward angle. It's really weird. So like, anyway, I don't want to stick on my stuff too long, because I really wanted to hear your guys' experiences with it. Anything else about Dragon's Dogma that we want to talk about?
Funny thing about that river,
microtransaction. Okay, yeah. Let's talk about that. Arcane, shout out to Arcane in chat. He was asking, have we talked about it? And by the way, shout out to Lotus Esprit, who dropped another $50 super chat. Thank you so much.
Buy Azura!
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much, Lotus. I'm gonna say it forever.
Red, before you say anything
how many
else,
times I say thank you, because every time I see super effective, I think about Pokemon. Thank you for bringing my childhood back.
This
Seriously,
joke is a little bit late, but there you go.
Well, look at this. Look at Jones. With this character's death, oh my god, the prophecy is severed. Restore a save game to restore the weave of fate. And this is from Morrowind. So if anyone doesn't know what this is,
yeah.
if you kill a main character in Morrowind, this little thing will pop up. This little golden and brown thing will pop up, and you're like, oh fuck, I fucked up, because you can do that. It's so funny. That's such a good point,
I screwed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just love
hey.
that design philosophy where instead of just having NPCs be immortal,
Right.
you just tell them like, hey, you fucked up. You can't progress now.
Now, was
Like,
it Oblivion?
give us the
that
ability to do it.
introduced the unconscious, or was it Skyrim that introduced the unconscious for what's the word for main NPCs?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Unkillable NPCs.
because people didn't realize. I want to say that it was Skyrim that did it, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Chat, let me know. Was it Oblivion where they started making the NPCs? They would get knocked unconscious instead of being killed, like in Morrowind. Because I know that Skyrim does do it, but anyway, it's fantastic. So, Jonas, I'm curious to hear what you have to say about the
Microtransactions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me about what's your stance on that, and remember, these types of microtransactions have been implemented in other games as like time savers, like in Assassin's Creed games. So that's just a setup. But go ahead.
It's kind of twofold for me. On the one hand, I really, really hate it, and I really dislike it, and I really don't want it to be a thing at all. And I would wish that they didn't do it. And on the other hand, I'm not really impacted at all by not having to buy them at all. Like, I can play the game and just ignore it, and it's fine, which is good. But also, I wish that I didn't sort of set up incentives for you to get hard-to-get items by just paying for them with real money.
Right. Assassin, you're really passionate.
Are you making
and
fun of
angry.
my looking up?
I was trying to see what was up there. We're in the same room, if anyone can't tell. We're roommates.
No, I'm trying to get my ceiling fan.
Oh yeah. High five. Okay. High five, Jonas.
No one high-fived
Nope.
anybody.
No, there.
No, I'm over here.
Oh, am I on the opposite side? No, yeah. I'm flipped. I'm flipped. There you
Boom.
go. Boom.
Boom. Okay, we got
Boom.
Holly.
Yeah. It's so confusing looking at the.
Alright, it's fine. Anyway, Assassin. What are your angry thoughts? I just want you to spew hatred right now about the microtransactions in this game. Assassin called me at like 12:30 a.m. and was like, "We need to talk. I'm scared and I need a hug." And I was like, "Okay, come here." But yeah, go ahead.
Okay. First off, me and Arcane both contacted you at like 10:30, asking if you knew about this, because they literally just dropped it an hour after launch. But
Okay.
I still do not support microtransactions in a $70 game. I don't like the idea of it. If they continue down this path, what's gonna stop them from putting basic features behind the paywall? I mean, think about it. Was there really anything stopping Capcom or any of the other major studios and publishers to do it? Ollie, you're muted.
Dagnabbit.
Still in snacking mode.
Awkward. Oh
Wait,
wait,
hey.
guys!
Little-
Before Red comes back, I sent the picture of my pawn to the Discord.
Okay. Little point of clarification though, they told some of the content creators beforehand that this was a thing, and some of them didn't. I think it was the ones in the EU that were not told beforehand, but the US content creators did know.
Not
So-
only EU. Lone weren't. He wasn't told either, and he's in Australia.
Yeah, so I think it was the
Jazz-
US only maybe that were told, because Cowboy said he totally, it was part of the disclosure package. He opened it up, he saw it, he had the list, like a printout from Steam, and he had the entire thing like well beforehand.
As
That's
Gordon
something.
knew as well, so I'm guessing the UK also knew as well, aside from the EU.
No, the
Unless
EU
the
did
UK
not.
is part of the EU.
Me.
No, I think they have a
But
different-
Jez did know. Jez did know.
Yeah, but he's it's media though. I don't know if media and content creators get different. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I guess, but still. Either way, I just don't like the practice of putting microtransactions in a single-player $70 game. Season passes are one thing, but microtransactions like this, even if you just pay for them once and be done with it, that's still just gouging for your money. I
Right,
just
like-
don't like it.
The thing is, even if it was just like what Bethesda does with like, oh, hey, you can buy like a piece of gear that you can download and use, like you pay for that once and you can have that across all of your characters, whatever. But this is like items you use for interacting with the world, like fast travel items and stuff like that, and that's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Can you
again,
imagine if Capcom
it
had...
seems like time saver stuff, like
Yeah.
convenience, and a lot of people. Sorry, Assassin. Just real quick. A lot of people are really open about like, as you get older and things change in your life. You know, not necessarily even getting older, but just might not have the same luxury as other people as far as time goes. You don't want to have to grind to get like. I want to play Dragon's Dogma, right? Like, let's just say I'm a dad with 4 kids, 3 wives, 6 jobs, and all kinds of other fun things to do. And I want to play this cool hotness, Dragon's Dogma. But then I find out you got to travel across the world. But I've seen the trailers. I'm so excited. I know that it's for me. I know that it's for me. But you're telling me I can spend $2 to make it a little easier to travel? To me, that doesn't seem like egregious like people are saying. And by the way, a lot of people don't know a lot of these microtransactions are a one-time purchase only. The majority of which, not the majority of which, a lot of which have been included in the deluxe edition, and they're just sort of separate, where you can purchase them separately. So in this instance, as far as time savers go, and in a single player game, and for the price, and I understand the saying, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile, because that is something that you have to be careful with. If they say they're gonna, we charge $2, what's stopping us from charging $5? And then, you know, so on and so forth. And I think that's what you were saying, Assassin. Like, what's stopping them from charging?
Yes,
for,
because if you do
know,
not make your displeasure known now, they will take advantage of it later. But I gotta give props to Capcom at least they don't sell you a collector's edition that isn't what they advertise and then give you $5 for a mythical shop like a certain other publisher that we all know.
Right.
I
I would also add that I do agree with that point of view, Red, but I also see the mirroring side of it, which is, it's good that you can have the option to make things go a bit faster if you have not as much time to play, but also that sort of opens up the gate to design games around needing you to make those purchases in order to, like, you just take things out of the main experience in order for things to play as they should be by paying for it, if that makes sense.
Right. So well, let's compare in the Assassin's Creed games. I don't think that there was ever a big outrage about the Assassin's Creed time savers, and I'm using that. Well, but they still do it, and I think that's sort of what you guys are saying. Like, well, they're still doing it because people are still buying them, right? But they're doing things like experience points, like where you level up faster, where you can see everything on the map, where you
Wait a minute, which Assassin's Creed games do this?
All of them. They all do this now. They all
Right.
all the new ones now. They all do this. I think even the
We haven't had an Assassin's
the
Creed game for 8 years, right?
You know what though? I have a counter for all of this that goes
Shut
back
up,
like
Assassin.
10. I have a counter for all of this that goes back like 15 years. You don't have to pay for. Like, if you have not that much time and you want things to go faster or whatever, you want to, modify your game in order for the experience to be better for your circumstances and how much time you can use to game. I mean, we had cheat codes back in the day that were implemented by the devs. Like, here you can do this to make things go faster, or you can have more fun with crazy shit or whatever. And yeah, you press up, down, A, B, whatever, and you would use cheat codes, and they were free, and they were part of the game.
Right. That's a really good point. I'm stupid and I'm an idiot.
No,
You want to feel more like an idiot?
it's just a
Time
different
for
world. It's just a different
it.
world in terms of how games are designed.
Arcane says, I think the crux of the issue is that, in Mr. Matty Play's words, it undercuts the intentional design decisions made by the devs, which that's a really good point. It's specifically in this case. And I guess in any case, right? In any case, the devs designed this game to be, you're going to level up specifically by defeating this type of enemy depending on where you're in the game. For any game at all. In Dragon's Dogma's case, they specifically made the game to where you can't fast travel easily because they curated the world in a way to where they want you to discover things along the way. That's one of the biggest. I mean, we just had a whole conversation about that for like half an hour about. That's one of the biggest things about the game. So that is a really good point. And by the way, so that way no one like crucifies me. I'm not saying that this is okay. I am literally playing devil's advocate and I should have maybe said that just to say.
No, I got it.
That there are some people out there that would say, I don't have that much time. I don't know what's going on about this big outrage or whatever. I'll pay for whatever this fast travel thing is. All I was saying is that for $2, it's a big outrage, but I don't think that it should be encouraged at all.
I don't think it has to
this
do
should
with the
be
price. I
encouraged.
think it has to do with the principle of the thing.
Sure, absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
pretty much it.
Absolutely. I totally understand that. Arcane also says, Also, many of the monetizable items are very rare in the game, so someone can just pay money to bypass the stingy loot economy. I get why people are upset, but I can also acknowledge that I don't personally have a horse in this race. Okay.
Not yet, Arcane, but I know you're interested in it, so you're gonna buy it. I know you.
Look at what.
Well, I don't know
Palpatine
you
just
personally,
said.
but still.
Look at what
Good.
Palpatine just said. That's exactly what I
Palpatine
said.
says, can't lie though, miss fast travel, and not being able to put stuff in my stash when I'm at a camp would be nice if it was optional. So Palpatine, would you pay if they said, here, for $2, you can have
no.
Stop.
a chest?
It doesn't have to be
Stop.
monetized. There should just
It
be.
doesn't
a
have
stash
to be
box that you're
monetized.
But would you?
No,
No.
because it
Why
shouldn't
not?
be. Look, here's my spiel on these things. Like, they're
I'm
bad.
just being a little Satan right now, just so you
Full
know. Just-
stop.
Go ahead.
Full stop. They're bad. But we also know that I personally have zero issues with microtransactions in games when they're cosmetic. I have no problem with that. I don't care.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Like, it is totally fine that you want your character to have purple skin with pink hair and blue fingernails. If you want to buy that, you should be absolutely able to do that if they have put that in there, because that is your choice. Having said that, what becomes an issue is when game mechanics become monetized. And I know it isn't that big a deal in this. It's very obscure in the way that it's put in. But once you start optionally monetizing game mechanics, at what point does it become not optional? And then the other issue is, like, if, with the whole, like, fast travel's boring, right? If a game, which from the first game, and I assume with this one, the creative vision and the intention of the game is to have that journey every time you leave a city, right? That is the vision, that is the creation of the game, that is the intent. But you can just pay to bypass the intent of the game. Not really, And what I think has happened, right, is that what I think has happened is they did the game. They did the game they wanted the way they wanted. And then they were told, not so fast, I need you to put some optional purchasable things in this thing.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
they did it in probably the least obtrusive way that they could, but still the fact that a company has said now monetize game mechanics is inherently a bigger issue. That's my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. This very much comes across as like top-down publisher decision making rather than a design by the studio.
Further drive home the point, Red. Do you remember
drive it into me, baby.
about a month?
Pause.
All right, sure, whatever you want.
Thank you.
Do you remember a month or two ago, whenever I was playing
do.
Persona 3?
Oh.
Do you remember what I bought for that game?
You bought
Besides
the
actually
pillow,
paying
the
for the
pillow
game.
that came along with it.
If there was a pillow from Mitsuru, I'm not ashamed to admit I would buy it. But
Thank you.
no. No, I
First
paid
step.
for the cosmetics for Persona 3. It was only $2. But it didn't
it's
change any
cosmetics.
mechanics for the game.
Yes, it's fine.
That's
yeah.
in paying for cosmetics is not the same as paying for game mechanics.
Sure.
Why
sure,
do I
absolutely.
have to pay more for the game to play the way it's supposed to be? It's supposed to have worked with the $70. If I'm gonna pay for something in a $70 game, it's to make my character look different. The Batman
Right.
Arkham franchise that we all talked about. Do you remember how much those cosmetics were? To change Batman in Arkham Knight?
I remember
They
that
were
they
only
were like a
about-
bit ludicrous.
They were.
I bought them all.
But in Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, they were pretty cheap. And the bundle was pretty cheap too.
Arkham City. I don't think Arkham
Cosmetics.
Asylum didn't have any way to change your suit, which I wish you could.
I mean, no, wait, not Asylum. Sorry, I meant to say.
I know what you meant. I know what you
I
meant.
think, yeah, City, and Damarco, did Origins have an option?
City
buy-
had it, Origins had costume customization, Night had costume customization.
Yep, that's it. Yeah.
But City,
Well, anyway.
Arkham
Mechanic-
City was reserved to like the challenge maps, though. You're not. I don't think you were wandering around the city in your 1970s
You can.
Batman suit.
You can.
Oh, okay. It's been a while.
There is a game
Yeah.
mechanic I have paid for in a game. And
Oh
it's
no!
probably
Don't tell
one-
me you paid the $1 for the red dot.
I don't know what that is, but
Oh,
not
dear
not
God,
Activision?
not for Dragon's Dogma. No,
Damarco knows it.
I don't know what that is.
I don't
but
know how they get away with that.
You play Call of Duty and you don't know what that is.
no, is it like the reticle point? What are you talking about? They
I
put
think
that
it
in
was
Dragon's
Black Ops
Dogma
4.
as for a
They were charging
I
for
th-
red dot sites.
For $1
Wait,
in
in-
Black Ops 4.
They were charging
years ago.
$1 for a
Oh.
red dot site.
okay.
The
well, that's
backlash was
stupid,
so bad
right,
they had to
but-
change it.
No, what I have paid for and what I could see as being one of the mechanics people are more inclined to pay for, not to give anybody ideas here, but in Fallout 76, I paid for Fallout First, which gives me like additional monies to spend in the shops, but what it also gave me were extra storage boxes, a storage box specifically for ammo and a storage box specifically for junk, so that my main storage box was less cluttered all the time and I would have more additional capacity and more space to store my
Yeah.
stuff. And in a game
So-
like that, like where it's repetitive long-term play, it's, you know, it
And what-
really helps out.
This was
Wait, which
this
game?
was in
76.
Okay, so this is different because let's dissect this. I really want to get to the last two topics before time goes out. But what you're talking about is not a time saver, okay? Which obviously, that is something that's you literally can only get if you pay for. So it's not something that's in the game inherently. It's not like a time. It's not like a thing that you can like. It's literally a membership. Because I did it. I got Fallout First whenever it first came out. I was like, oh, that's cool. So you get the thing early, and like you get like the little camping thing. And then I remember realizing that was actually tied to the membership, and like losing that was like it was like a big gameplay mechanic that I was really stuck on. Like, so you can't like slap down a little camp anymore. You can't just auto scrap things. That's fucked. That was really not okay. I mean, and I don't have it anymore. Like I don't, because it felt really gross. That is an example of taking advantage of. I mean, and again, you know, that is the MMO mentality, right? Like I think even Fighting Cowboy put out a video that everyone absolutely loved, where he was like, World of Warcraft has been out forever, and you don't see that kind of thing. However, they do have expansions and whatnot, right?
And you pay $15 a month to play Warcraft.
Right, exactly.
It's a subscription, right? So, yes.
Right, exactly. And the Arcane says, I took DeMarco's advice and I birthed the entire Arkham collection for less than $10. I low-key can't wait to play them again. And Jonah said, that sounds painful. There's a Freudian slip.
It's worth it though. The pain is worth it.
The pain is worth it. So, sorry, I was like crying behind the scenes. Umbra, what's up, man? Crippling Debt and Nerds and Other Legends, they all showed up at the same time. Thank you guys for jumping in here. I really appreciate you guys. Hit the like at the very least and leave a sub at the most if you're new. That'd be really sexy of you. So I think we can all agree we don't like microtransactions, right? Like that type.
No.
Skins are cool, man. We like skin.
Nope.
That's fine.
I don't like
But
skins.
we don't
Marco
like
has a big
these...
problem with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
He would hate my Call of Duty account.
It really depends on the game.
I am full like microtransaction. No. The only exception is free to play. Only exception.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of sexy, Jonas, can you have this Elder Scrolls that Bethesda has talked about? Bethesda has talked about Bethesda. Bethesda has talked about the Elder Scrolls 6. They talk about themselves a lot. Come on, how can you not?
Right.
Can you tell me what the fuck they said about
So,
Elder Scrolls?
From what I could tell, I couldn't find anything else. They posted a 30-year celebration thing of the Elder Scrolls series, and they posted within it the statement about the Elder Scrolls 6 was basically, yeah, we're working on it. Basically, it's in a playable state, which can mean anything because we can load up a sandbox of nothingness.
Nothing. You're right.
And
Yeah.
just see how the walking animation looks. So.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of people ran with this just because it's just nice to hear something about Elder Scrolls, and now in a few months from now, people are going to be very disappointed that they heard anything at all. The same thing with Mass Effect, which we'll also talk about quickly in a second. Why are you saying anything at all if it's so far away? And it's just trying to keep people trying to let you know we're real. Keep you in the back of our minds.
This was not even like an update on the game. This was more like a celebration of the franchise overall, and they talked about the past and the future. That's basically how it was included into the thing. And of course, gaming news said, "Oh, we got updates on Elder Scrolls 6." It's like, yeah,
right.
big update.
It's nice to
20-minute video.
And one of the things,
the thumbnail.
Ray's like, oh, right. Shout out to. Well, never mind. I don't want to, because never mind. I don't want to say anything about anyone that I actually love because they might take it the wrong way. But one of the things about this that is good to know is that they did say the thing that I saw is that they
Buy a
said
Zora, buy a Zora, buy a Zora.
Oh my god. I don't know. Oh, I didn't have my shit scrolled down. I should have. Lotus, thank you so much again for another feckin' $50 super chat. Thank you so much with the jumping cat.
We gotta set
saying,
up some alerts or something.
Happy New Year.
Please
That's
tell me
literally
that you're
Damarco.
saving money for your PC.
Yes. Well, first I have to get out of debt. Listen, we'll talk about that later. But thank you so much, Lotus. You are literally changing my life. Which I can't really go into detail, but you're making me much more comfortable with what's been happening behind the scenes in real life stuff. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Anyway, what was I saying? Wait, what the hell is? Oh yeah, the big thing that I took away from this that they said in the actual tweet is that they are starting to shift a lot of their team over to Elder Scrolls 6, and I think that's what people were running away with, was saying with Starfield, they have a shitload of people on Starfield still, and Bethesda is massive now. I mean, Bethesda is huge. Lone Vault Wanderer just put out a video talking about has Bethesda gotten too big for the shoes, and
A conversation me and Damarco has all the time.
Yeah, in which they need to start sharing their IPs. It's just not going to work anymore with with time frame wise, dev team size. They need to start sharing their shit. But anyway, it's good to know they're starting to shift people over into Elder Scrolls to start to get that ramped up for development. Elder Scrolls is happening. It's coming. So Damarco,
It's been coming for a few good years now.
It's been almost 6 years since that was announced. We haven't heard anything.
The last time we got substantial info was the 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
During which time,
little schmidgen during the 30th.
That was the math
During-
thing, right?
And by the
During
time the
which time?
35th comes around, we'll get a trailer.
Right, exactly.
during
Here's
which
it,
time
coming
the
out 5
card game was still relevant. It's dead now.
The irony of all this, we actually are getting Grand Theft Auto 6 before Elder Scrolls 6. I thought it would have been the other way around, but Todd, you know how to make us wait. Another irony is, by the time Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, GTA 6 would have already been out for 5 years.
Yes or no question. Just yes or no. No explanation. Or one or the other. Will Elder Scrolls 6 or Fallout 5 be Todd's last game?
Yes. Elder Scrolls 6.
No,
No.
which one?
6.
6?
Elder Scrolls 6.
6? Jonas, you said no?
The way he was
I'm not
talking
sure.
about it,
Red?
how he wants
I
to
said
make
no
it the
explanation.
ultimate fantasy.
No
What?
explanation.
I'm just saying.
Is
Alright.
is Fallout his last game?
No, I'm asking, what do you think? Do you think Elder Scrolls 6
which
or
one
Fallout
is
will be
his-
his last game? And which one?
I think he was saying that Elder Scrolls is his magnum opus, right? That would
Okay,
probably
alright.
be it. Yeah. That would
His
be it.
quotes were ultimate fantasy simulator.
Yeah, but that can be just like his vision for that game. I don't know if that means he's, putting all his eggs in that basket before leaving.
Yeah, he had ambitions for Starfield.
he's
right?
kind of a hard
Everybody
man
hates
to
that
read in some
garbage
ways, so.
game, right? That game sucks. And every
Yeah,
time
but
I make a
Jonas, you
video
have to
about it,
remember,
everyone
he wants
shits
to
on it.
focus on the 16 times the scope for that game.
You're shouting into the
Fantastic.
void over there.
I'm so
Yeah.
scared that he might be doing all of Tamriel. I'm so scared.
Me
I just
too.
want one region done well, please.
We
Maybe
talked
two,
about that.
at most,
We
please.
talked about that. Like, what if they do? They're using this procedural generation that they were talking about in Starfield. They're going to be using it in. But it's not like it's.
Okay,
gonna be
I
random
have
every
a
time.
question for you guys once Red's done.
Yeah,
I have a question once you're done.
I'm done.
What region should they do?
Should
Should it be
or-
one that they've never done? Or should they
they're
go
doing
back to
Hammerfell.
Cyrodiil or Skyrim?
No, they're doing Hammerfell.
They're doing Hammerfell.
doing
well, if they're
Isn't
if they're not
Hammerfell,
doing
like,
the
one of the
entirety of
smallest
the continent,
regions?
they're doing Hammerfell.
They're not doing the entirety of the continent. It's going to be
No.
Hammerfell.
Let's hope.
It's going
It
to be
looks like-
Hammerfell with the possibility of High Rock, and
Of
the
High
reason
Rock.
why those two would be
Yes.
lumped together. I had a whole video on this that was actually a lot of fun to put together. But I just kind of logicked out from a game design perspective.
Yeah.
If you look at High Rock,
Region-wise, we might be looking at like a Daggerfall redo, if that makes sense, like the Iliac Bay region of the continent.
yeah, for sure. I don't think they'll do full Cyrodiil. It's not happening.
Let's hope.
Full Tamriel, excuse me. Full Tamriel, excuse me.
Oh, sweet Jesus, no.
Yeah.
It'll, including High Rock in there makes sense because the
It's-
geography of High Rock is really, the geography, the terrain, the biomes are interesting, but the landmass itself is just basically a long strip. And
Right.
so game design wise,
There's
if
so
it's
much
just High Rock,
dynamically.
going like this, the entire.
There's so much
game,
cool
this is what
dynamic
you're
between
doing.
them. There's so much cool dynamic between those two regions as well, not only geographically, but like if it's set in the same ish time as Skyrim, like period-wise, it could be really interesting, like even politically, because you have Hammerfell, which
High
is
Rock, which is part of the Empire still, and then
Still.
Hammerfell is separate, and you have
right. Yeah,
What you guys are saying is I'm gonna have to wait another 25 years to see Elsewhere or Black Marsh. Is that what y'all are telling me?
no, you can play
Well,
Elder
Those are
Scrolls
the two
Online.
regions I want to see the most.
You could
No.
do ESO, or you could do mods, dude. Moonpath to Elsewhere.
Beyond Skyrim.
Yeah, that's
I don't
right.
have a PC. I don't have a PC.
You don't
Then you have
need-
something to look forward to.
Actually, yeah, you do need a PC for those, but
I think Moonpath
Matthew
to
says, "Hey
Elsewhere's on
Blue, I
Xbox.
subbed up when we get in a vid. Yeah, it's your 5th sub, Blue. Holly, this is weird calling you Blue. Yeah, when we get in a vid.
I
Yeah,
don't
we're
know, I
not
gotta
risking.
Figure it out. I gotta figure it out.
Fantastic.
Jonas thinks I should play Pokemon, right?
Well, we
I
got
think you
Power
should.
Please.
I think you should play whatever is a blind playthrough for you that you would find interesting. I just suggested Pokemon back then because you were playing Palworld and really enjoying it.
What it was?
You-
Yes.
I think that you should play Bioshock.
I would
No,
say
I-
KOTOR. KOTOR. Here, let me put up a poll. What should Holly play?
KOTOR is not
And
a
a-
good like channel game though. Let's be honest.
No.
KOTOR?
Our World, Helldivers, Dragon's Dogma 2.
Unless you're like a retro channel, it's not a good.
And so
casual
you'd be
game.
streaming this, right, Holly?
Or making some videos on the content, yeah.
I think like a
okay.
let's play series would be really
Yeah.
suiting for the channel. Just
That's
record like an hour and then, hey, okay, see you next time.
Yeah.
Do another session.
That's
Just
what
make
I'm
sure your
thinking.
face is in the thumbnails going.
Oh god.
Right, exactly.
Can I tell you,
She's like,
I hate the thumbnail phenomenon of now. I don't get
too.
it.
Oh, it's been forever.
It makes
Make
me.
sure your
I
mouth
know,
is
but-
closed because Mr. Beast study said mouth closed is better.
Oh really? Oh okay.
Yeah,
well,
the
Mr. Beast
the
would know.
Mr. Beast, they did thumbnail testing, so you could smile, but your mouth has to be closed. You can't be like,
Yeah.
So like a
or
creepy
the ones
mouth
you do
closed
see
smile.
where they're like. Don't clip that. Like,
oh, shit.
Too late.
So
yes.
anyway, listen.
There's a
we're
lot of
excited.
them where they're like gawking at something.
Gawk! Where's that term coming
Holly,
from?
don't worry. I'll make a video about it just like I did with the last two episodes.
Yes, you will. And you'll make me look annoyed the whole time, I'm sure.
The irony of that, actually, when you said that you were annoyed, that was the episode where, after the show, we asked, "Are you okay?" And you were like, "I'm fine." So I was like, I kind
fine.
of got it as proof, like,
That
that
doesn't
you were
mean.
not fine.
Fine.
Well,
Okay.
Speaking of KOTOR, let's just jump right to this. So, Mass Effect got a big
oh,
update.
Princess Peach.
Princess Peach.
I actually haven't heard
what?
this.
That'd be a
Okay, so this. I'm gonna break this down as best as I can because there was some excitement and then there was also some like, oh well, yeah, kind of energy. Mass Effect 4. So it is still in the pre-production stage as far as development goes. And Andrew Cullen, I love you. Thank you so much. I think you love this show. I don't know what you mean. Thank you. If you mean us, thank you. We love you too. Mass Effect. The next Mass Effect is still in pre-production. And so the big news, the only reason that we're talking about this is that Mike Gamble, who is directing the big D man over there, reassured the Mass Effect community that this next Mass Effect game, is going to be led by trilogy veterans. So that's the writers, that's the art directors, that's the story board people. That's like it's people that have been there for a long time. So what does that mean? Well, right now, Dragon Age Dreadwolf is in development, and a ton of people that are going to be okay. Dragon Age Dreadwolf. People that are at BioWare, that have been at BioWare for 10 plus years, are currently working on Dragon Age Dreadwolf. When the development, we just talked about how Bethesda is gonna start. It has started moving over teams from Starfield over to Elder Scrolls to continue that production. Now, that same thing can be said about BioWare. BioWare is going to start moving over their teams from Dragon Age Dreadwolf after it releases, which are Mass Effect veterans, over to the next Mass Effect game. So this is one of those situations where people were like, I didn't know that was a thing. And it's like, well, people like to say that BioWare isn't the same BioWare, and that's true. But Casey Hudson didn't just create this game from the ground up with his own two hands. The same way that Todd Howard didn't create the Elder Scrolls and Fallout with his two hands. There are a ton of people that are involved in making games, obviously. But what people don't understand is that a ton of people that are veterans from the Mass Effect and from BioWare in general they're still at BioWare, but no one wants to give them credit for it. So that was the big news. Tons of veterans are working on Mass Effect, the next Mass Effect trilogy veterans, and it's safe to assume that the veterans that are currently working on Dragon Age Dreadwolf will be also moved over to Mass Effect. I hope that made sense. Damarco.
Have you ever thought about how if you just replace the D in Dreadwolf with a B, you get Dragon Age Breadwolf?
Or Dragon Age Red Wolf.
Age Red
Holy shit! what? Thank you, BioWare. The game's about me. Well, I guess it will be because it's an RPG. Anyway, Crippling Death
Are you
says
going to
Anthem was
cover Dragon Age
fantastic.
Red Wolf?
Oh, damn right. I am currently reading a book from Dragon Age. I just now played and 100%ed Dragon Age Origins, which is, I've replayed it as of like, I'm replaying it from like 10 years ago. Again, another one of those games that I'm doing my last run on. Put over 70 hours, all the DLC, everything in Dragon Age Origins. That's done with, and I'm doing everything in order. So I got comics to read, books to read, and I'm also playing Dragon Age 2. I have it on pause right now because I cannot play two fantasy RPGs side by side. I'm playing Dragon's Dogma right now, and it also has dragon in it. Anyway, so anyway, do you guys give a fuck? DeMarco, you're the Mass Effect boy. Well, not the.
Should I put my helmet on for this?
Put it on and tell us all about how you feel about what I just said. So
there's a difference between veterans and veteran leadership, is my take on it. So yes, you have veterans, but there's you know, we've seen Starfield is a fantastic example. Starfield had veterans, and there's so many factors that go into a statement like that. Starfield had a lot of veterans on the team, and you know, we had Will Shen. Everyone loved Will Shen after Far Harbor, and he was leading. And the common takeaway from Starfield was, and Lone's video, Bethesda was too many people. And yes, you had some executive leadership. Like, this is one factor, right? One is the size of the team that they lost. And this is why people like Nate Perkapile, Jeff Gardner, Will Shen left, right? These people left, and I would be incredibly surprised if it was not because they didn't have the same cohesion, the same team connection,
Structure.
that glue that held them together to make these that allowed visions. And there were interviews that came out that were talking about how people didn't know who to go to, and if they did know who to go to, it was a hassle because that team was so overloaded. Even though they had more people, it was so backed up because there were so many bottlenecks in everything because of the team size, and all of that led to more meetings with less outcomes. And I've worked in companies that were big, you know, big agencies, and small agencies, and they have pros and cons to each of them, but tangibly, when you get to that bigger size, it actually becomes more of a hassle to let the stronger creative visions come through, and a lot of things have to be played safer because of time, budget, and all this other nonsense that you think should be enabled by a larger team. So that's factor number one. Factor number two is what I was saying before, that veterans versus veteran leadership. And I'm not a game designer. I don't work in game design, and I probably am going to get some inaccuracies here. However, from what I have seen and what I have read, you need that strong leadership there. And yes, you have someone like Mike Gamble who's helping with that. But when some of that core leadership team disperses, to be able to unify some of those veterans in a strong process and in a cohesive vision and to drive that forward is difficult. And that's why I really look forward to something like Judas, which is Ken Levine working with 35 people. And it's worth mentioning that doesn't always mean a good game, because you have something like Nightingale, which was industry veterans from BioWare that came out, made a survival game that a lot of people didn't really like, because a lot of similar survival games did not have the mechanics, the quality of life things that they've been doing for years. Nightingale didn't include. And for people who like survival games, that weighed down negatively on Nightingale. So even if you have a strong small team with veterans, doesn't always lead to a strong product. That's not always the output. So there's a lot of factors to that. Does it make me feel better about it? Yeah. I sink back into my chair and I get all comfy and cozy and cushy and I go, yay! The Mass Effect 3 guys are working on this, yay! And I get giddy about it. And as they start talking more about Mass Effect, I'll get excited about it and I'll buy into it. But there's a woohoo. But there's a lot of factors.
Same. It's literally Damarco's voice.
Woohoo! But there's a lot of factors that play into it. So, does it make me feel better? Does it make me feel good inside? 100%. But it's like the American dream. It feels good. I like to think about it, but there's a fallacy to it.
Hey, Drowners.
What you eating there?
Penis.
What?
What?
Pause.
There's a
What?
hair in my penis.
Peanuts. I'm guessing.
Peanuts.
I should go. I should go.
Okay,
I
thank
should
you.
go. I should go.
You're doing it wrong, Assassin. What you really wanted was
Woohoo! Woohoo! You should have got. Thank you. You have any thoughts on this? Oh, what are you drinking? Is that a Norwegian brand?
No, it's Red Bull.
No. Is it spelled differently? Does it look differently? Like, does it have?
Does it taste differently? Does it look differently?
It just straight up says Red Bull.
Is the can texture?
Yeah, that's a brand.
differently? Does it smell differently?
I don't know. I don't know if what
Does
kind of taste you have over there.
Does it
It's-
taste? Does the can taste differently?
I thought it was.
Yeah,
like,
Mr.
I haven't had one in America yet. You gotta
Does it taste
send me one.
Norwegish?
It
Norwegian?
tastes Norwegish. Norwegian.
Norwegian? Does it taste Norwegian?
Udani said it is made of 100% whale.
It
can and
tastes like
all.
lutefisk. Oh no, absolutely not.
Udani knows things. Anyway.
Apparently.
Yeah, what do you think about this? The hype surrounding veterans working on games to quell, to calm, to quench the fans.
I'm in the same boat as Marco. It's good to have veterans who has been part of making the games that came before that people love. But also, it's not only about the people making the game, but also the structure they're in order to make that game. Like me and Damarco and I, we have had this conversation regarding the Elder Scrolls series for a long time, several times, and like there's no arguing that Bethesda has really grown in the past decade, and it's not the same studio anymore that created the older Elder Scrolls games. Not the older ones, but the ones that came before. Sorry, my camera came off. So yeah, no. Like my worry about the Elder Scrolls, I can't really speak to Mass Effect because I haven't played those games and I don't have the knowledge about them. But speaking on the Elder Scrolls, my worry is that Bethesda might have become too big and too top-down heavy, too corporate, too bureaucratic, whatever name or brand you want to give it. That is too dissimilar to the studio that had people talking around the lunch table about talking about decisions concerning the design of the game.
Detached, right?
Right. Like you can't have like some of
Sorry, didn't interrupt.
No, it's fine. It's good. Some of the things that the fans love the most about the game is some of the writing by Michael Kirkbride, for example, which is a lot of like sexual innuendos and like jokes hidden in like very cleverly written ways and stuff. And like that's just something he snuck in, trying to get a laugh out of the people he worked with. And you have great ideas that came about from people just having a chat at the lunch table and stuff like that. You hear stories about that, and like that doesn't organically happen in such a corporate environment. And I think that's sort of a spice that is needed, if that makes sense.
Really well said. Yeah. And I sorry. Udani says, thank you so much, Udani. I appreciate you, bro. He says, I have an illogical fear that when Red Wolf has his head reveal, he'll take off his hat and have a tattoo that says EA. It's in the game. Yeah. I might. We just got to get me to. What was my goal for taking off my hat for a show?
1,000.
1,000. That's right. Just get me to 1,000, and then we'll find out. Because I might have a head tattoo. I might have actually done that, and I might have gotten a head tattoo before I actually ever shaved my head. So there's a teaser. That's it. That's the show. Thank you, guys. No, I'm kidding. So, anyway, my cat's really wanting inside. Speaking of cat, Holly, do you have any thoughts about veterans coming back, hyping up, all the things? Sorry, that was a weird transition that doesn't make any sense. Do you have any thoughts about all the things that Jonas just said?
My internet was playing up just a little bit when you were talking, Jonas, so I apologize.
I was just saying bullshit anyways. It's fine.
So-
To sum it up really quick, I was just talking about the structure of a company being just as important as the people working at it, and I think if a studio is too top heavy and corporate and bureaucratic in its structure, some of the spice that comes with people just organically coming up with things and figuring things out sort of disappears.
Yeah. No, that's true. Even working in non-creative things like I do, when you get too top heavy, it becomes very difficult to get like the regular day-to-day stuff done, right? Let alone in creative arts, because I would imagine the higher you get, the more of the business aspect has to come into it, right? So when you have a studio that is dominant on the business and, you know, short-tiered on the art, I think it probably does war against each other quite a bit. So remind me quickly, who wrote Andromeda?
Oh, that is a good question. Chat,
Let me
let us
find
know.
out.
I think Jonas is gonna find it before you. I can see his mind racing.
No, I got a BRB real quick again. So
Okay. Yadani says, "Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust," which is really great news. I'm really excited for that.
Mac Walters was
Uh,
writer
well,
and director on
Writers
all.
John DeBro, Kathleen Rutsard, Chris Schlurf.
Schlurf?
Are any of those from the original trilogy, or were they all new, like a different team that worked on Andromeda?
Wasn't Mac Walters one of them? Him and Casey Hudson?
Hold on.
Casey
so
Hudson returned. He was not there
Writer-
for all of it.
Right.
the main writer for the first Mass Effect was Drew Karpyshyn.
Drew Karpyshyn. That's right. By the way, a great writer for Star Wars as well. Love his stuff, Drew Karpyshyn, which I guess is a testament to how well he knows space fantasy and stuff. Oh, Yadani
Mass
says
Effect 2.
Cardi B wrote Andromeda. Good. Good.
Yeah.
Mass Effect 2, Karpyshyn and Mac Walters. And
Karpyshyn.
for Mass Effect 3, Karpyshyn, whichever.
If you don't
Third,
respect his fucking
The main
name,
writer for Mass Effect 3 is Mac Walters.
And
There you
he
go,
also
that-
wrote Andromeda.
He was a director for Andromeda.
he didn't write Andromeda. Okay.
I mean,
I'm just wondering,
he had a,
right?
He had
Because-
a hand in it.
The backlash with
Casey Hudson was director for the main trilogy.
yes.
Mm.
That's the one, and people just want Casey Hudson just to take over everything. Which again, that doesn't fix everything. It's like saying they want Todd Howard to. Oh, it's a weird. That's a weird comparison, but I don't know. Cardi said, "Enough is enough." I don't know anything about Cardi B, but is that what she sounds? I don't know. I've only ever heard Cardi B's noises. She makes really weird noises.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
right. Okay, Andrew
Anyways.
Cullinane says that Andromeda is his favorite Mass Effect game, which is totally fine. Totally fine.
I liked Andromeda a lot. I just didn't think it really fit as a Mass Effect game. But as it's set as an independent game, I thought it was good.
Sure.
I enjoyed it.
Hmm.
There you go, Umbra. That was some Cardi B noises. That's pretty good, right? Some good Cardi B
I
noises.
thought it was role playing as R2D2.
I mean, pretty much. Thank you. So make her noises, Assassin. Make some Cardi B noises. Can you do that?
Okay.
Fantastic. I loved it.
What is he
I'm sorry.
asking?
Go ahead, Holly.
No, it was just my point is like just because you're hearing that people from the original trilogy are working on the next one doesn't guarantee a W, right? Because they were on Andromeda, or at least some were on Andromeda, right? So I always like it gives you a little more comfort, but I always take it with a grain of salt because we're in a different era. There's all kinds of different people that work on stuff. The studio is in a different place. Politics are in a different place. There's all kinds of things, right, that have just evolved over time. So we will see. We'll see. But it's the same thing as like Ken Levine starting his own, like Damarco brought up, right? With Judas, you know, he's not doing BioShock anymore, but he's got a style, he's got a type, right? And he's doing his own thing in his new studio with his
I wanted
flavor.
to talk about Judas, but we talked so long about Dragon's Dogma 2, it's just impossible now without going
We talked
over.
about Dragon's Judas for a good over an hour.
We can talk about Judas for a bit.
Judas Dogma.
Oh, WAP. Dude, people are still wanting you to do WAP, Assassin.
Yes. Yes, we are.
No.
What if someone? What if
send it to you?
someone? I was gonna say, what if someone? No, never mind. I don't want to be a piece of shit. Be like, what if someone? I don't want to say it.
For a certain super chat amount, he will cold read. No.
I would. If someone super chatted in, I would do it. I would.
I'm not gonna. That's a joke. I'm not incentivizing people.
In my white man voice, I would read the lyrics.
Please don't, Jonas,
for
please.
WAP.
Sorry,
But I didn't say it.
I'm not gonna sell you. I'm not gonna sell your
let's
services.
Let's not gonna do. Yeah, never mind. It feels weird. I don't want to be that. That's not what we do here. It's not what we do here. It feels gross. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Assassin.
Oh, what? You want my opinion on this whole thing?
Why'd you say it like that? Oh, what, you care about me, Dad? Now you care that Mom's gone? Yeah, when are you gonna play Mass Effect? Sorry, that got dark.
Oh, you stop. Will you stop asking me? You already know my answer. When I have when studios and publishers stop giving us so many damn games so close to each other. Give me a drought, please, somewhere in June or July.
Give me a drought.
For fuck's sake.
I had a nickel for every time I
Give
had
me a drought. Give me a fucking drought. Anyway, my opinion on this doesn't matter if they're veterans or not. I mean, it doesn't. How many veterans from Batman Arkham from that franchise worked on Suicide Squad? How'd that game turn out? How many veterans worked on Dark Souls 2 but without Miyazaki? How did that game turn out compared to the rest? Remind me again what happened to Bungie after Joseph Staten, Marty O'Donnell, and everyone else left? Even though Pete Parsons, who was a veteran at Bungie, is leading that company? Remind me again how that company's doing. How's Bungie? How are they doing? I'm of the opinion just because you have veterans working on a game, on a franchise they've worked on before, that doesn't mean that it's going to be 100% a win. At best, this Mass Effect, this next one, may end up being divisive just like Andromeda. At worst, it'll probably be the worst game in the franchise. I mean, there is a very small chance that it does turn out to be a W. But you were talking about how, like, Casey Hudson didn't make this franchise with his bare hands by himself. That's true. But he was the head of the whole trilogy. He was the director for all three. You cut off a head, the body stopped working.
Debatable.
Casey Hudson was the
Oh.
head of Mass Effect. Now that the head's cut off, how is BioWare doing with Mass Effect? They haven't had a new game from them in years, and the last game they had was divisive. It called a lot of people into question of BioWare's future, which we're still having that conversation with.
Can I just say I really appreciate you saying divisive correctly. I really love that. And I appreciate
You're welcome.
you. Thank you.
Yeah,
and that's
so
really good
I'm-
points. Yeah.
I'm not saying that you and Damarco and Ollie have no reason to be excited. I'm just here to remind you. You guys, just remember this is not the same team that made the games that you love. I don't want you guys to learn the hard way, again, what I went through with Suicide Squad this year. That's the last thing I want all Mass Effect fans to go through. Because once a studio has broken my trust, it will take years to get it back. That's why it took years for Bethesda to get it back after Fallout 76, and that's why Rocksteady's in the gutter with me right now. So, hope for the best, plan for the worst is what is all I gotta say about this.
Great point. Great point. Yes, that's what I always say. Never get your hopes up. You never be let down. And it's hard to do whenever you love something a lot. You know, like Mass Effect is. I mean, it's my favorite fucking thing in the whole world. Like, I mean, I don't know.
You guys have the rose-tinted glasses on, so I'm just here to remind you: take them off every once in a while.
They're not on. Can't you see? Do I look like Jim Sterling to you, or is that his name? I don't know, or their name. I'm sorry.
Oh
I'm
God,
sorry,
no!
Luke.
Please don't bring
Let's
them
not
up,
go there.
please.
I apologize. I'm as soon as I said it, I was like. Anyway, okay. Did you want to talk about Judas? Because
Yeah, we could dive into Judas.
it's up to you. It's up to you. Okay, Holly, this is your thing. This is literally you. It's you in the game. You play as you in the game. I didn't know you play as a chick. I kept seeing the chick, and I was like, "Who is this chick?"
It's Judas.
Is she Judas?
I think so.
Yes, I have the hands-on preview list right here. If you guys want me to read it out for y'all.
You,
At yes or
Yeah.
no?
What?
oh, I was Wait. I'm sorry. You have
Oh,
a
well,
list?
I need confirmation from somebody before I start reading it
Read,
off.
assassin. Read, sir.
Thank you. So, Judas hands-on preview. Let's see what we got here. Here's the list of what we learned about Judas today. Previews went live at 11 o'clock earlier today. BioShock in space. Non-linear story structure. The main character, Judas, has memory loss. 3 major side characters named Tom, played by Troy Baker. Hope
No
and
way, Troy Baker.
Nefertiti? That is a weird name. Each of their
Nefertiti?
narratives... Nefertiti, yes. Nefertiti. Alright. Each of these narratives occurs simultaneously. Your decisions with these characters greatly affects the narrative. Every player's experience will be different. Some roguelike elements. Judas can regenerate herself, presumably after dying. If you die, you lose all your items and can earn resources for upgrades. Both the narrative and combat encounters will change based on what faction you side with, so there's factions in the game. Narrative Legos is a key term for behind the scenes development.
I heard that. Yeah, I love that. Did they elaborate? I mean, the clip that Holly sent, I was watching it. It was cutting out, and I was like, "Is this a real thing?" But I heard the Lego narrative. I'm having a stroke.
Lego.
Sorry.
Narrative Legos.
Lego narrative. Yeah.
Narrative Legos.
Yeah. Narrative Legos. Yeah. I'm trying to
Narrow
say
Lego.
Narrative Negos, and that's a scary word to use.
I like how the
Um,
first comment in response to this is BioShock in space, memory loss, so it's Prey. That true?
No.
Pretty much.
Is there memory loss in Prey?
Pretty much.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so
No,
Ken
Prey-
Levine
no,
just
it's-
decided
it's
to make
different. It's
Bioshock and Prey, and made Judas.
No, it's very different.
No. Prey feels familiar to BioShock players, but it is not BioShock.
Fair enough. I know. I just wanted to get on Arcane's nerves. If he's still here, he's like, how dare you?
um,
What?
so-
Did we miss something here?
While they work that out, yeah. So Judas looks real. Oh, go ahead, Ollie.
No, I was gonna say, Judas is really interesting because it's I like. So there were like three people that really got like access to it, right? There was Jeff Keighley and Ryan McCaffrey. They did like a joint interview with Ken Levine, and then also Friends Per Second podcast, which is Skill Up, Lucy James, who used to write for GameSpot, right? Or I think it was GameSpot, and also Jake Baldino, who I love, who's from Gamer Rant, and they do this podcast together. So they were invited, and Skillup said it took him 32 hours to fly from Australia to Boston, and he said it's not a preview event. It was solely a like they just walked in. It was just them. They've plopped him in a room and like, here you go, play for 5 hours. They said the game is still very much in preview. It's not at preview level like for a mass like press preview, but it's playable, but it's got a long way to go until they get like final build. The other thing that they talked about was sort of, and it was a 2.5-hour video, and I only got like through 30 minutes of it, so I still have a lot to watch. But the parts they were talking about, they just showed some like little pieces of gameplay, but they also talked about there are 3 protagonists, which we saw in the last trailer that just came up. They were like on stage, and they are the 3, and it says the 3 a lot of places. And they also talked about Judas, which is your main character, and you see Judas in the mirrors and stuff like that. You see her quite a bit. And so it sounded, they said it's a combination of a bunch of different game types put in together that have never been like bonded together before. And they talked about it having like roguelike elements, and there being like a safe room, and that they didn't even want to talk about the room because it was so cool and unique and weird that they just want to leave that as a surprise. And they also talked about how like you can change your allegiance to the 3 different characters of the 3, and then that would manipulate your story. But it sounds really good. I mean, it sounds really cool. They also said it's very BioShock-esque, right? With the movement style and the patterns of how you do things, because they said they went in and they were like, oh, I don't even need the tutorial. I was already doing like these things,
awesome.
right? Because it was the same pattern. Right. And then the art style is very, very similar to BioShock Infinite. And they said if you liked Elizabeth in BioShock Infinite, you know, you'll really enjoy like the Judas character. That's as far as I've gotten in the interview so far.
Best companion ever in any game. Yes, I'm sorry.
Why would you just
I got
Starfield like that?
yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true.
That's right.
Garfield was really sorry. Yeah. Yeah. The description of Judas really just got me because it just reminded me.
His mother.
something
It's
funny.
fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So, Damarco, Judas.
Judo.
Judo. That's a thing.
Judas.
That's a thing.
I wasn't prepared.
By Azura.
Yeah, Donnie. Fantastic.
Hey.
Sorry, real quick to interrupt the Judas talk. Donnie says he's $10 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Hey, he paid. You gotta sing. What is the song? It doesn't matter. You just gotta sing this, Assassin. This is for you. Okay, so I'm gonna put it up here.
What?
There you go. And
Why do
need
I
you
have to sing? Why can't we take turns?
You gotta
He asked you specifically to sing. I'd sing it if he asked me.
You gotta renegotiate this contract, Assassin.
That'd be great if I actually had the contract in front of me.
Well,
Since I magically signed it.
we're waiting.
Good
Stop.
Caddyshack reference.
Thank you.
Oh my god.
You gotta
be
stay in
again.
rhythm. Like however you want to sing it, just and listen. I won't even listen. I'll be off camera.
I think this needs to be a new
Hey,
segment.
Dad, look at me. Think back and talk to me. Did I grow up according to plan? Do you think I'm wasting my time? Doing things I wanna do. But it hurts when you disapprove all along. Don't. Ever.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you.
Y'all know it sucked and you know it.
You did
It
it,
was
though.
great.
That's all that counts.
It was great, and your dad would approve.
That's true.
You mean to clip that
Anyway,
out?
Judas looks cool.
Yep.
I'm excited for it. I like that they're doing something different, right? Because obviously originality's difficult, especially with the amount of games that we get, the output that we get, and how frequently we see them. And I've always said from the get-go that novelty in games comes from like kind of the indie space, and Ken with his small studios, definitely I would kind of consider it. In fact, he is. I don't know if it's indie or not. I don't know. But anyway, super exciting to see what he's cooking up there. And I'm excited for more BioShock because we haven't gotten that in a long time. So they could say that it's BioShock Infinite 0.5 and I would go, great. Also, can't wait. That's my take.
From what I saw.
By Azura.
What happened? Oh god, I missed. Oh, hang on. I can't see anything out because I was typing. I was sending something. I had the chat to where it's like way up high. Oh, Lotus, thank you so much. Someone said I didn't miss Lotus's previous 50, and thank you so much. I just typed it in. We were deep in conversation, and I didn't want to interrupt the flow of the conversation, which is why I didn't say it out loud. But thank you, Lotus, for that super chat and this super chat. Thank you so much for that. They do a Megatron. You think a Megatron was a hippo? Because apparently
the
like
hippo
all.
that Damarco read us about the backstory on.
I don't know.
Oh,
It was. I don't remember, but it was like the hippo has no fear, right? It was like. Yeah.
There's
The
like
hippo
there's
has
a
no fear?
backstory. Like he went through
Yeah,
some shit.
The hippo had a. Well, they all had a backstory. The
Everyone
hippos
has a
was
backstory.
extra good.
Why are we
And the
talking about
bear.
hippos?
Thank you so much, Lotus. Is all I want to say. I just want to make sure. I think Matthew pointed out you missed the super chat. I saw it. I typed in thank you into chat. I didn't actually say it out loud. But thank you, Lotus. Thank you so much for the Transformer. And Colt says maybe feel so comfy, Assassin. That's good. That's good. We're gonna clip that out. Send that to Nick. Fantastic.
Oh, I missed it. I can
I
wait.
Oh,
really
you didn't hear
need
the
to clip
singing?
that out.
Well, here, let me bring it back up.
No. I
Wait.
can check it later.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Anyway, so Judas is great. Dragon's Dogma is great.
Oh, there it is. Yes. Sorry. Lotus wrote about Popo the Hippo.
Oh, Popo the Hippo is from, man, that fucking heart needs to move. Can I fucking get the fucking thing out of the way? I hate that fucking heart. Oh, there
There
it
you
goes.
go.
Thank you. Thank you, True77. What's up, bro? It's good to see you. Popo the Hippo was from the Barrio, or is it Barrio? And has made it all the way up by transforming it into what they really are. It's really deep. It's really deep. I love that. What's a Barrio? I know Barrio is like it reminds me of Monster Hunter, which I'm gonna start playing Monster Hunter, by the way, because
It's the Bizarro of Mario.
You want to tell me about that?
Bizarro, like the Superman villain, Bizarro.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like
It's the Bizarro of Mario.
I was thinking
Mario.
like. Okay, I got you. Thank you. Okay, well now we know. Let's see. Ghetto in English. Okay. Got you. So he's from the ghetto, made his way in Okay, that is really deep. Hey, listen, I think we've all been in the barrio, right? At some point. Started from the bottom. Now we're here on the Renegade Realm podcast.
That's what I remind myself every morning.
When you wake up, you
Just
go,
out of bed.
I don't want to go to work. Wait. I'm on the Renegade Realm podcast. Yeah, that's what I do every day. Yeah. I woke up last night in the middle of the night, and I heard this noise that sounded like this. It sounded like, and this is coming from behind me, out in the hallway, and it sounded like this.
That was me.
Oh, that
I
was you.
getting a sandwich. Yeah, I was getting a sandwich.
I was like, that kind of sounds like Damarco.
Yeah, no,
That's the
it's
noise he
going.
makes. He gets really excited whenever he makes sandwiches at 3 a.m.
At 3 a.m.
in
Yeah.
the morning. I'm a silly little goofy goober. That's what I am. I should have known that was you. What was most disturbing about it is that I looked over at Finn, who's laying beside me, and I was like, and he's just like, I'm like, well, if you're not freaking out, I'm fine. So no ghosts for me. But it was really weird. I didn't sleep well last night. Anyway, so I think that's it. I think we did it. We're gonna wrap this sandwich in a bundle of lettuce because that makes sense. Jonas, thank you so much for staying up with us until, hang on, 3
1:30.
a.m., 3:30.
We can go with that, sure.
That's how it feels. No, wait, no, it's not. 3, 4, 5. That's one.
It's off as
1:30.
one. Yeah.
Okay. Yay! Look at me. I got all this Finn hair. Look, Finn's hair. He's a golden doodle. It's like not like they're like
In
little
focus?
balls.
It's not in focus.
Okay.
I can scarcely see it. But... Oh, there he goes.
Look at that.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what Finn's hair
Yeah.
looks like.
Yeah.
Lint.
They're like little
It looks
balls.
like lint.
That literally, it's like fucking lint. I went to eat some peanuts, and I went like this, and his hair was in my mouth for some reason. Yeah, they're like these little balls. They look like these little. See that?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. A little insight into my life. Lettuce wraps are a thing, and I love that. Red Bull, Monster, or Rockstar. Dude, I can't do... Jonas is Red Bull. Or Ordbulb, as you would say in Norwegian. Right? Was that close?
We can go with that, sure.
Okay. How do you say Red Bull?
We just call it Red Bull. It's
Okay.
the
Okay,
Yeah.
got you. That's that's me. I'm an ignorant American, uncultured. So, anyway, all right, Jonas. But seriously, thank you so much for jumping in, man. I didn't want to leave you out of the Dragon's Dogma conversation because it's taken over the entire world right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's always a
Yes.
pleasure hanging out there.
Yeah, man. I really, really appreciate you for everything, as always. And Cody's what says, uns, Mountain Dew. I haven't heard of unts in a while. It's been a while since we unsed.
Yeah.
Yeah. We gotta bring the unts back.
Yeah. We like the ones.
Fantastic. Yes, the unts. Holly, where can people find you and what you gonna be getting into? Oh, let me end this poll. This is where the poll ended, by the way, for Holly, what she's gonna be getting into, and it seems to have been like tied in a weird way. 30% Mass Effect, 30% comment, which I didn't keep track of that, so that doesn't count. So it's Mass Effect. So there you go.
I have played all of the Mass Effects, but I could do it again, and you could hear my frustration at the bad mechanics, at the aged mechanics from the first one.
Yeah, like fine
They've
wine.
aged. Yes, that's the only one that's rough. But I will be leveling up my pawn because I just got a message yelling at me about why Garfield isn't a higher level in the last 2 days. I said, stop playing so much, weirdo.
Right, yeah. You're caught up. Yeah.
So I'm going to play more Dragon's Dogma and as much Outlast Trials as I can when I can get the people I'm playing with to be around and play. And a new week of Call of Duty rewards started tomorrow, so I'll be dipping into that a little bit here and there. And I am also going to be working on shipping. I know I showed them last week, but I'm gonna do it again because shameless plugs. The lovely coins that you can't ever actually see in real life.
Wait. You just gotta
Larkin
hold-
camera.
Wait, it's upside down too.
Maybe that's why.
It knows.
There it
Actually knows.
There it is. Look at all
That's
those
fantastic.
cool little guns and knives.
Camera is like, I can't read upside down.
I know
love
my
that.
camera's like, just no. We're just not doing this. And then the Diablo one, which is
Oh, it's the best. That is my favorite.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are shipping out soon, and there will be giveaways on Ben Kenobi on Twitter. So another plug for that. But
Yes, love
anyway,
that.
that's
Love
me.
that. There you go.
That's
There
it.
you go.
Thank you.
Hey Damarco, what you got going on, man? You got anything planned? You're busy. You're going to college again. You're gonna be a doctor. You're gonna be a lawyer, and all in one. But what's
A doctor.
what?
Yep.
Where
Doctor,
can people
lawyer,
find
and an
you in the
escort,
middle,
all in
in
one.
the midst of all your adventures?
I can't put down Dragon's Dogma 2, so and I really do want to jump back into Helldivers because I've been having an itch to spread some democracy. My trigger Finchy is getting fingery. So I need to fix that fingery.
Yeah, that finger pincher is getting triggery.
Yeah, I need to go fetch some triggers.
I love it. Oh, it's my favorite thing in the world. Is word flubs. Is just I don't know why it kills me. It's great. It's great. But you're still a YouTuber, right? You promise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, we believe in you, man. I really want to see like maybe some streams or something. Like just put it out there. Because that was like a good outlet for
Thanks,
you,
Johnny.
right? Doing some Sunday streams or whatever. Whatever day.
So the time that I haven't been spending on YouTube, I've been spending on doing things like I started playing piano again. I've started going back and playing golf. Like I play golf for most of my life. I've been doing that again. I've been getting, I found potentially a group that I could start because I used to run my own D&D games, but I haven't in a long time. I found someone else who's willing to run them. So I've been doing things, I would say, out in the real world a bit more in that time that I haven't been spending on YouTube, and I've been thoroughly enjoying it. Doesn't mean that I won't come back and there's always time to do a stream like once a week. But yeah, Palpatine, I've literally been going out and touching grass lately. So we'll see.
That
We'll see.
newly
We'll
mowed
see.
grass on the golf course.
on the fresh greens. Fresh,
That's
beautiful
fantastic.
fairway.
I'm really glad to hear that you are out and doing stuff. That's why I always ask when we start the show what people are doing outside of gaming. This is a gaming podcast at its core, but we go off the rails and we talk about other things other than gaming, which makes me really happy because this is just, again, I always say it at the end of every show, but this is a place where you come and hang out with you want to feel like you're hanging out with your friends and you're just just want to hear what everyone's doing and just doesn't have to feel formal and staying on topic and whatnot, and I think we're evolving in a good way, so I'm glad to hear that you're doing good, Damarco, is all I'm trying to say. Okay. Anyway, Assassin.
I saw a thing the other day when you get complimented, you shouldn't be going like nah or like flippant with it. You're supposed to embrace it, because this is literally you dismissing both mentally and physically. You pushing away.
Yeah, exactly. You want to, and then you
That
don't
sounds
want
weird,
to.
man.
You got to take it to your heart.
No, you need to be
Very
more
simple.
about yourself.
Thank you. So
Yep.
you bring it to your heart. Thank you.
Right, exactly. Like Leona Lewis says, listen to your heart when he's calling to
Listen
you.
to your
No.
heart.
Is that who said? No, Leona Lewis did Keep Bleeding or whatever. Who does listen to your heart? I don't
You
know.
do now.
I did. I just did that. Yes, Assassin, you're also still a YouTuber. Don't you lie to me. What you gonna be getting into, man? Where are you?
You can find me on Twitter and Twitch in the description down below. I'm going to be continuing my Dragon's Dogma 2 playthrough, and maybe I'll finish Batman Arkham Origins by this time next week as well. So we'll see. We'll see where I am. And apparently Matthew wants me to sing at the end of each episode.
Yes.
Okay.
We should do a Twitter poll at the begin, or a poll in the chat at the beginning of the show.
How
that's-
about I
everybody-
sing what I can at the end? How about that?
That works. We can start there.
Emil Pagirulo just sent out a tweet a couple days ago now, but I'm seeing it for the first time, where he said he's playing Immortals of Avium. He said it's not going to resurrect your grandma, cure your diabetes, fill that hole of loneliness inside you, but it's good entertainment.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's the
Yeah,
most
it's a
honest
very good
review
video
of that
game.
Yeah, I love
It
that.
is. It's a great game.
That's the most.
I
honest
rated it
review.
higher than Starfield. That's how good it was.
Yeah, it's because you were done with it in 15 hours or whatever.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Hey, it was 20.
There you go. Exactly. But imagine 200 hours of Immortals of Avium. Anyway, Umbra, thank you.
That'd be
You're
fine
an
as long as I
entertaining
kept it
discussion,
going.
Umbra. What? Hmm.
I said
Okay.
I would play 100 hours of it if it kept the pace.
I was hoping you were gonna say if it was that long, and then someone would clip that out. But hey, that's it. You're welcome, Umbra. Don't you?
Oh, so I'm not
you
singing?
can have
All
it.
right, cool.
No, you
No,
are
you are
singing.
singing.
If someone wants to,
No,
if someone
no,
wants to-
no. Red said we're done. Red said we're done, so we're calling
We're
it.
done.
All right.
we're done.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Hey, listen, and you can find me in the description below, and also right here, on YouTube. And thank you guys, seriously, thank you guys so much for everything and always showing up. True77 says Starfield in the Mass Effect universe is what I want. Yes, exactly, yes. Hopefully we get some more hardcore shit. Mods are coming. Anyway, guys, hit the like button on your way out. You probably hit it on your way in. Lotus says this is not a musical, and thank you all so much, especially Lotus for all the supers and all the support, and Yadani for all the supers and whatnot. I really appreciate you guys. It means a lot, seriously, and I'm not gonna take that for granted, seriously. Gross, Colt says. Anyway, all right, everyone. Cheers. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, everyone.